Welcome back to Beyond Ball. It's your host, Jacob Mathern, and your co-host, Gabe Caraway. Honestly, this is going to be a very, very, very great episode. We got the amazing...
Sponsored by Dr. Pepper.
As always. Dr. Pepper has been our lives. Mine's just water. I already drank my 2 things of caffeine today. Had a whole load of tea and some coffee. So I was, let's just say, my heart was racing through the roof earlier. This was definitely a weird weekend. Weird weekend. I definitely had a good weekend. I was tailgating for Southeastern. We got absolutely destroyed by South Dakota State, like 44-0. It was bad. Oh my gosh! I left during halftime. I was like, I ain't watching this team no more.
No. That tells you how bad Southern misses. But that was a close game. We're a bottom 10 school.
There's no
doubt.
But let's just get straight into this. We're gonna start with our player of the weeks right here. I'm just going to go straight into mine. The 2-time dog player of the week list, especially for me, is Troy's wide receiver, Devontae Ross. He stepped up his last week's performance, had 11 receptions, 228 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a 34-12 win over Florida A&M. Next one I have here is, this came out of nowhere. I actually got a manage to watch a lot of this game during the tailgate. Navy quarterback. Salute that man. Navy quarterback, Blake Horvath. Horvath? Yeah, that sounds great. Just a measly 9 for 12, 192 yards, and just 2 touchdowns. With 12 carries, 211 yards, 4 rushing touchdowns, and a 56-44 win over Memphis. Defense, they barely know her. Honestly, I respect it, I guess. Next one, I have Arkansas's defensive back. He's kind of their safety / corner nickel back. TJ Metcalf. What a name. 4 solo tackles, 2 interceptions, 2 pass deflection, and a forced fumble with a hallelujah win. 24-14 win over Auburn. Thank you, Arkansas. Auburn, I hate you. Next one is another 2-timer, I believe. Is Iowa running back Caleb Jackson. I just can't get him off my list. This man is beautiful. Close enough. Caleb Jackson, same thing. Absolute dog. This man carries the Iowa offense. He had 21 carries, 206 yards, 3 TDs, and a 31-14 win over Minnesota. And out of left field, this is a pull of the century. I was looking through players. I'm thinking, man, who I want my last player of the week to be? I have a quarterback, running back, defensive back, wide receiver, and I stumble upon this one guy. Great name. Buffalo kicker, Upton Belenfant. I'm like, this is my guy. He went 3 for 3 with a long of 42, and he went 2 for 2 on his extra points. But most importantly, he hit the 37-yarder game-winning field goal to take down number 23 NIU, 23-20.
I'm going to hop right into mine. And you started with someone who is familiar to your lists, and I guess I will do the same. Vanilla Vic, John Mateer.
What a guy.
I mean, the dude is, I want to say he's 3rd in total FBS yards right now.
Yeah.
Had another great game. 2 interceptions again. He has thrown some INTs, but
see, when I look at him, I'm like, how does this man keep making a list? When you just watch him play, it's beautiful. This dude's a dog.
No,
this dude's a dog.
In a double overtime showdown with San Jose State, 26 of 46, 390 yards, 4 touchdowns. I mentioned the 2 interceptions, but he's also giving you the ground game. He's giving you 18 for 111 and a touchdown this week. I mean, he's just racking up the yards, going crazy, really stepping up in the absence of Cam Ward for Washington State this season. And then I move on to, probably one of the bigger upsets that I don't think anyone really saw coming, even with North Carolina losing their quarterback. And that's Alonzo Barnett leading the James Madison Dukes and beating the North Carolina Tar Heels. The dude had a game. 22 of 34, 388 yards, 5 touchdowns. He had 13 carries for 99 and 2 touchdowns, and he's the first Sun Belt player to, I believe, have 7 touchdowns in a game, if I'm not mistaken. I believe I saw that somewhere. Just what a week for him, upsetting North Carolina. We move on to, I believe, this guy played Villanova, so the stats.
They have a football team.
That's what I was actually asking. Ty Felton of the Maryland Terrapins, 14 catches, 157 yards, and a touchdown. Dog. Their whole offense this week versus Villanova. And I got a couple defensive guys here. Ahmad Moses against TCU had a solo tackle and just a look home, 2 interception, and a 60-yard pick six. I mean, come on. The 60-yard pick six, that's crazy. Pick six in general. And then maybe the defensive player of the week nationwide, Sean Dolak of the Buffalo Bulls versus Northern Illinois. 15 solo tackles, 4.5 tackles for loss, an interception, got 53 yards on the interception return, and then he also got a pass deflection. I mean, I think this was a great week to do player of the week. I feel like there was a lot of guys going crazy. Nice to see my King Vanilla Vic staying here, probably be here next week. He's playing Boise State. That's going to be a crazy 9 p.m. shootout.
Yep.
I will be there. I will definitely be there for sure to watch that game.
Before we're going to go straight into this amazing weekend of college football. We have a little bit of notes. The one thing, a game I want to talk about that's out of the notes is the James Madison North Carolina game. North Carolina paid James Madison $500,000 to come into that home and to absolutely get whooped. Oh my! A 70 burger on their head. They're hanging their head like, who is these guys? Who's a frick their quarterback? The quarterback, Lonzo Barnett, was actually a former 3-star in North Carolina. His dream school is North Carolina. And so seeing that, him getting balling out versus North Carolina is amazing to see. Beautiful thing to see, honestly.
It looks like James Madison when you play him on a Heisman difficulty in our dynasty.
Oh my gosh. I hate playing James Madison. I actually have a Southeastern dynasty that I play every now and then. I actually played it last night till like 3 a.m. because I couldn't fall asleep. And I was sitting there and we're undefeated going to James Madison. They're like a 79 overall. We're at 86 across the board. My 5-star quarterback ready to go in there. Freshman has amazing tendencies. They hang a 40 burger on our head while we only score 15. I'm like, oh, hey, honestly, for it, I guess.
That's just what they do, man.
I hate them. But let's go straight into this. My favorite game, Cinema. It was this later round, the later night showdown between Vanderbilt and Missouri. Went to overtime. This isn't your dad's Vanderbilt. This isn't your grandfather's Vanderbilt.
This isn't our Vanderbilt that we know.
Hell, this isn't your brother's Vanderbilt, your older brother's Vanderbilt. This is our Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Don't know where this came from. This came out of the ordinary.
They're having a great year.
Into Missouri, ranked 7 Missouri, told them to hold our nuts, and we're going to bring you to overtime. Now, did they lose off a game-winning field goal? Absolutely. But are we all proud of Vanderbilt? Darn right we are. All I say, Vanderbilt kicker, put fries in the bag. That's a big thing. See, me personally,
both kickers sucked, if I'm not mistaken. There was missed kicks both sides.
Absolutely. Me personally, I am not missing that. That's just me, though. No, me personally, that's just me. But I do want to shout out, probably the player of the game from that game is Nate Noel. When you think of the Missouri offense, you think of Brady Cook, Luther Burden. But a guy that really stepped up when Chase Schrader was there last year was this guy who, I ain't gonna lie, did not know going into the season. I do now. Nate Noel had an absolute game yesterday. He had 24 carries, 199 yards, No touchdowns, but he broke off a 64-yard run straight to about I think it was to set up a field goal more towards the end of in the quarter. But Luther Burden had a quiet day. Still got 2 touchdowns, and they left them in overtime. I don't know if you remember that in overtime they left them 1-1 with a minute. I'm sitting there, I'm like, what are you doing? I want you to win, like frick. But Luther Burden, of course, had a game, 6 receptions, 76 yards, 2 touchdowns. Brady Cook was efficient, 23 for 37, 226 yards, 2 touchdowns. Man, shout out Diego Pavia. When I was thinking of the player of the week, I was thinking he was going to be there. But I had to leave him off because there was a better quarterback. I'm sorry, Diego. Diego went 14.
The stats weren't like too crazy.
Exactly. But he showed up when it mattered. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
He went 14 for 23, 178 yards, 2 touchdowns with 17 carries, 84 yards. Only taking 1 sack. I'm impressed. I love Vanderbilt this year. They have proved me wrong. I guess they proved everybody wrong. Now, how they're going to do for the rest of the year, probably terrible. But
horrible.
But we are there for it. If they ever win a game in SEC play, we are there for it.
Oh, we're here. I mean, standout, obviously, we mentioned both of them, Diego Pavia and Nate Noel. I typed Nate Noel in my notes, and it corrected to Nerlens Noel. So shout out Sixers legend, I guess.
What a guy!
I don't know why.
Nerlens Noel used to be a guy always straight for in 2K. It just goes there, just get like 3 blocks a game.
Terrible in real life.
Terrible. Oh my gosh, awful.
I believe he was a transfer. I want to say App State. I could be wrong. So obviously had to replace Cody Schrader, who was a dog, like 5'6", but he was all the heart in the world. Ran through LSU, that's for sure. But I mean, Nate Noel's on his way to having, I'm not going to say a better year than Cody Schrader, but he's having a fantastic year. I think you mentioned the stats, so I'm not going to beat that horse again. The one thing, I think Mizzou, we mentioned this last week. We talked about their game against Boston College. The penalties, they killed them. They had 8 of them. This week, dropped that down to 3. That's what you like to see, especially from a top 10 team. Now, the game was still close. Obviously, it wasn't just that. That caused a close game last week. There's still things they need to work on. We both were concerned with their defense. I don't think we've really seen anything that really makes us feel any better about their defense. I mean, Diego Pavia is him, no questions asked. But you just expect more from the Mizzou defense, is what I would say. They lost players and lost the defensive coordinator, but it doesn't seem like the defensive coordinator is very good based off his time at LSU so far. So, and then 8 penalties on Vandy, so kind of the flip side of that. To still be in the game with that 8 penalties, that's really impressive from Vandy. And to really, you lost the game, could have tied it, went to another overtime on a kick. To be that close just hurts to lose like that. But I don't think anyone in Nashville is hanging their head after this performance. I think they're feeling positive. I don't think even the most diehard of Vanderbilt fans, if they do exist, were expecting to play this good so far into the year. So far, I guess it's 4 weeks, but still to play how they've played this year, it's just impressive. I do want to really Eli Drinkwitz. I want to put him on the pedestal here. There was a certain decision made right before halftime. It's tied at 10. They had a 4th and 3 at their own 47-yard line. Anyone with a brain punts that ball. They decide to go for it, and they get sacked. Really hard to watch from a top 10 team. And a coach who had a really good year last year who's gaining his respect to make a decision like that in a close game. It leaves you scratching your head. Vanderbilt got the ball and they got a field goal before half. So that's what happens when you make dumb decisions. I think for Vandy, it's really, I mean, just improve on this game and improve on how they played so far this year. And I think they can. I think they can. I don't want to say win a lot of games, but I think they can compete in a lot more of their games this season. So just impressed.
Yeah, I completely agree. I, I want to. Even though I know it's off the notes still, but I want to go off another the night game. Pac-12 at night is still in my heart. Has a very special place in my heart. Now, seeing Colorado play at the latest night stage maybe bring back a lot of memories when I was younger. But I do want to talk about a little bit of this game, more towards like the final bit of it. Colorado, this is the first time. Offensive line is terrible. I never got a chance to watch it. Like I watch a Colorado game outside the Nebraska game. I personally played against one of the offensive line that plays for Colorado, Carter Edwards. Shout out him, dog. They don't play him for some reason because they care about status more than anything. But that's game for another day. But when I watch this Colorado team, their offense is great. Besides the running game, their passing game is great. I really do love Shedeur, even though the hype, like the things that he does, like pisses me off. But I think Shedeur can be an NFL quarterback if he could just make the good decisions in a middle game. It's just, I
don't think he's getting projected like a top 10.
Yeah,
I would not draft this man in the first round. I'm sorry.
See,
he's a project.
I can draft him in the late first. I think that's a good reason.
If you really need one.
Yeah, I think that's a good reason. Travis Hunter, a dog. Oh my gosh,
he'll be top 3
easily.
No way.
He had 7 receptions, 130 yards. He had a forced fumble at the very end of the game for Colorado win, and that was his Heisman moment. Honestly, in my eyes, he should be the Heisman front runner. In my eyes. Now,
it's probably Cam Ward right now.
That's my very close second.
It's gonna be the wins. That's gonna be the issue.
I agree. Now they knocked off a not so good Baylor team. They took them to overtime. Baylor is not that good of a team, guys.
No,
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. They're 2-2 of the year, but they beat Air Force and Tarleton State. Tarleton State was a D2 just a year ago. Let's put it that way. Tarleton State is in Southeastern Division. Tarleton State might get whooped by Southeastern or it might just lose. Honestly, don't know. And they got destroyed by Utah. And Cam Rising barely even got hurt that game. I mean, plain and simple, Colorado is an overrated team. We've been knowing that. Baylor sucks. I just realized that. Now let's go back to our actual script here. This game surprised me.
This was my game of the weekend right here.
I completely agree. 24 Illinois going into Nebraska, if I'm not wrong. Oh my gosh, Luke Alt.
He's him.
I'm sorry. Hey, that was my fault. My district I regards my casual self. Illinois, I was not familiar with their game. That was all me. I will take full blame for that one.
We both picked Nebraska,
so
we're pretty stupid.
That's
we had a bad week and pick them.
A really
we'll talk terrible, no good after. Yeah,
I can't for some reason I can't. Oh, it's the 20. It happened on the 20th. I'm stupid. Sorry. Illinois goes in Nebraska, beats them 31-24. Luke Altmyer, flowers. Give him your flowers. I'm sorry. I knew you were a dog, but gosh, I didn't know you were that big of a dog. Nebraska, Patrick Apartments put fries in the bag on that final drive. Other than that, he had a really great game. He went 24-35, 297 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. Isaiah Nayor is a dog.
He's him.
He's a dog. 4 receptions, 103 yards. combined and had 2 touchdowns. Um, he's I really love watching Isaiah Nayor. If you shout out to MMG, that's how I really learned his name the first time he was on his wheel cut. And I've been watching film on him, love him to death. Illinois, like I said, Flowers, Zakiah Franklin, a dog. No way to put it. The stats don't show it, but this dude was torching the Nebraska defense right then and there. Shout out Pat Bryant, of course, was through like the main target of Altmyer in the game. And it's just, I'm sorry, Illinois. I'm gonna give you my flowers. Give you your flowers. You deserve it. I'm a casual, plain simple.
Yeah, I mean it was cinema. Not really any debate there. Altmyer, I knew he was having a good year, and I knew he played well, and they upset Kansas. So I knew Altmyer was him. I'm not going to say I didn't have my concerns going into this week because, another ranked matchup on the road. It's a tough environment. Cornhuskers always sell out games. So that was a tough environment, but I thought he played, outplayed Raiola, who's getting all this attention. Most of it's because he's cosplaying as Mahomes, but I mean, Raiola is still a good quarterback. I don't want anyone to tell you that he isn't. The issue I did have a couple times, Raiola fumbled twice in the pocket. One time he literally just let it slip out of his hands. I don't really know what happened. And then the other time, I believe it was someone coming from behind and knocked the ball out.
Yeah.
The only real bad series he had was when he fumbled twice. And then the interception he threw, it was an interception, yes, but the ball was ripped out of the receiver's hands. I thought it was a good throw. Yeah. The corner just went up and took the ball. I mean, that's literally what happened. That was an amazing play. I watched this whole game. This was just one of the best games of the season so far for me. There was a big, speaking on Raiola, there was a big overthrow late in the fourth that really, I believe it was going to be a touchdown if he had hit it. It was a really bad throw.
I completely agree with that one.
The O-line was pretty bad for Nebraska. They were, I'd say that, they were good, maybe not great. And I believe they're the oldest O-line in college football, not mistaken.
Yeah.
But Raiola was also taking too long back there. The pocket was breaking down. I just think he was holding the ball too long sometimes. But he's a true freshman. Let's keep that in mind. So he's going to get better at these things. To be in this game with I think a very good Illinois team, very good defense, very good offense. As a true freshman, I thought it was impressive. I still think Nebraska's a good team. They cannot win close games. This has been going on for years. They have 27 straight losses against ranked teams since 2016. That's pretty terrible. Really, actually embarrassing, I would say. And then I do want to shout out one guy for Illinois. I don't think the stats were great. 12 for 69 on the ground, but Fegan, I thought he was a very good runner. He had some very good strong runs, broke a couple. I don't know what his long was, but he was just consistently breaking down. I thought he was a really good runner. That was kind of my underrated player of the game. But other than that, Illinois, they have a tough schedule coming up.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about their next game at Penn State. Then they have Michigan, and then they go to Oregon as well. That's their next 3 games. That's tough. That's really tough. But I mean, we're going to see what they're made of.
Yeah.
I think they have a chance in some of these games. I don't think they're going to go 3-0, but I think they do have a chance in these games based on what we've seen so far.
Yeah, I completely agree. Now the opposite of cinema was his next game. I actually hated myself watching this. Utah went to Oklahoma State, beat them 22-19. This game made me actually want to pull hair out my head. Because when you look at Oklahoma State's team, okay, you got a talented guy. You would say pretty good running back, in Ollie Gordon. Look at the stats right now. 11 carries. Okay, he must had a good game. 42 yards.
He's been bad this year.
Brothers,
They can't get him the ball.
First
Like,
running
the
back,
blocking's bad.
it's bad. First running back to be washed at. I'm gonna read some of these comments right here. Never thought a 20-year-old could be washed, but here we are. He's taking draft stock, so he doesn't end up on a terrible team.
Crazy.
I mean, could be. My favorite one, Wizards MJ. Personally, next one right here, Celtics Shaq.
Wizards MJ had some good games,
And
he averaged like
fair.
20.
That's fair. And then pretty much the last thing needs to be said. The fall off needs to be studied. I completely agree. Ollie Gordon, what the heck happened? You were pretty much a lot of people with dark horses. He was a contender for mine. I don't want to talk about my dark horse anymore. That was don't want to talk about that. That's a no. It was no Fafita. Let's go look at his stats for a second. I don't know if they play this week.
They're not good.
Yeah, I don't think they play this week. Now I'm looking at it. No, they didn't play this week.
Arizona?
Yeah, no, they didn't play. Good.
Yeah, no.
Alan Bowman.
He stinks.
Go figure out LinkedIn, buddy.
Yeah. You're like 26, dude.
The Bears and the Colts had this pretty much the same like age gap these two. And they even had
AR's like 22, right? Or crazy
21, 22. Dude's young. Oklahoma State,
stinks.
you let me down. Don't know where this defense came from. I'll give them that. The defense was kind of going stupid for a little bit. We all saw what happened in that Arkansas game where the defense was not going stupid until that final drive. I mean, when you're playing Taylor Green,
Yeah.
I sure hope so you got a lockdown.
Auburn, Arkansas, worst game of the year.
It
was terrible.
That was bad.
Really stinky.
Shout out Isaac Wilson. I didn't know he was going to start this game, but then he did. I guess I don't really know what a shout out here. I like him. I guess he's cool. I miss Zach Wilson in college. I'm not gonna lie, dude made me actually feel hope about BYU football. But the MVP of this game was easily Micah Bernard, running back at Utah. 25 carries, 182 yards. Dude, dang near quadruple Ollie Gordon numbers. Like, it's bad. Oh my gosh. Oh man, maybe talking about it just pisses me off. Sorry. Now I'm looking at this. Somehow this tight end has 2 touchdowns with Isaac Wilson threw 1. Stats are stupid. But this game was stupid. This game was terrible. Absolute snoozy. I had an overnight tailgate. This was actually when I was tailgating. I remember almost falling asleep on the couch watching this game. So I hope Oklahoma State just loses next week. I don't know who they're playing.
Kansas State.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah, they're going to lose next week. We're both going to get that later. But yeah, that's all I'll say.
Yeah, I thought Cam Rising was playing this game.
Me too.
If I could go back, I'd probably still pick Utah. I was pranked on that front. Someone told me Cam Rising was playing. I was lied to. I don't even know if he warmed up, to be honest. Isaac Wilson was okay. He wasn't great. It was a Micah Bernard legacy game.
Yeah.
So it really didn't matter. Because, Isaac Wilson, 17 to 29, 207 yards. Okay, but 2 picks. Stinks. Dorian Singer, Arizona transfer, had a good game. His first game with Utah. That I think was his first big game with Utah. 7 for 95. Utah, 42 to 17 in time of possession. Just absolutely dominated Oklahoma State. And they even had 3 turnovers to OK State's 2, and they still whooped them on time of possession. That just tells you how bad this game went.
Yeah.
They shut down Ollie and OK State's ground game, which seems to be doing it to itself this year so far, based on stats. The passing games were, I don't think any of the quarterbacks were good, really. Alan Bowman, you said it. It's time.
Terrible.
Retire.
Get ready on LinkedIn.
OK State's defense, 2 picks, 10 TFLs, 2 forced fumbles. But I mean, when you can't stop the run, it doesn't really matter. When you get dominated like this in time of possession, they just never really had a chance in this game. It was somehow a close score, but the game was not as close as the score. 22-19. It was not that close of a game.
Yeah.
So don't let that fool you. And then I will take the reins and ride on to our next game.
Go ahead.
In Norman, night game. I wanted it to be cinema. It wasn't cinema, unless you're a Tennessee fan or a Michael Hawkins Jr. fan. Then you're going crazy right now. Coming into this game, Tennessee had 29 straight losses on the road versus top 15 teams. That stinks. Not quite as bad as Nebraska's record since like 2016, wherever they had. But that's not good. So I was never really doubtful that Tennessee wasn't going to win this game. I just think their offense has been playing too well. Their defense is absolutely incredible. I mean, I want to say they hadn't given up an offensive touchdown in 19 quarters until in the fourth quarter of this game.
Yeah.
That's one of the longer streaks in like 20 plus years, I believe. So you normally think of Tennessee, you don't think of defense normally. They've had some great defensive players, but in recent years, I don't think that's what people really think of. Especially looking back at like Hendon Hooker year that they had. Both teams were really bad in the first half.
Yeah. Oh my
one
gosh.
worse than others for sure. 2 fumbles by Nico in the first half. Tennessee, we had some injuries at the tackle position going into this game for them. They were going into the stands getting fans to play tackle. It was really bad. I believe they had their third string out there. I believe at left tackle, I want to say, for most of the game. It was really bad. But even then, I mean, at a certain point, they just blew this game open.
Yeah.
A 10-point win, but I think the game was farther apart than the score. It was really some last-ditch efforts by Oklahoma that made it close. There was a point where there were fumbles all over the place. Tennessee fumbled one play, and then Jackson Arnold threw like a backward pass, and it counted as a fumble. These were back-to-back plays. I thought they were playing with the monster ball from Madden 11, which is one of my favorite things to do.
That's our dog right there.
Someone said this was on Reel. You get it, no, you get it, game. And I was like, that's exactly what's going on right now. Arnold was straight up bad in the first half. Horrible,
terrible,
overwhelmed. He got benched at the end of the half. He was 7-16, 54 yards and a pick. That stinks. That's smelly. This is a 5-star. I believe he was number 3 in his recruiting class. He stinks. Michael Hawkins Jr. straight up outplayed him. Michael Hawkins Jr. was, I want to say, was like a 4-star or 3-star. He wasn't like a horrible player, but you expect Jackson Arnold to not look like an absolute buffoon out there in these big games. Tennessee defense, though, they were flying around. They were just going crazy. This is probably one of the best defenses in the country right now. You look at who they played prior to this game, and you're wondering, are they for real on defense? NC State's not good at football. Chattanooga, I think maybe they played or something like that.
Ugh.
So not the best level of opponent, but they're legit in my mind. I don't really have many questions, minus offensive line and how healthy they are or aren't going to be. OU has no explosivity on offense. I don't know if that's a word at all.
It is now.
But Michael Hawkins Jr., man, he came in, played well, had a great run down to the 1 where I thought he leaped and got the touchdown. Refs kind of shanked him on that. And then the short TD pass after. Another drive down the field after that. He should have got a touchdown. And then he was taken out for the 4th and goal play for Jackson Arnold, who just handed it off. So I don't know why they took him out. And then he was back in for the 2-point attempt. I don't know what the coach was thinking at that point. But yeah, Tennessee is legit. Michael Hawkins is going to start against Auburn this week.
Yeah.
Auburn's horrible, so I think he'll play well. So yeah, I'm impressed by Tennessee.
The one question I have with Tennessee, when I look around on Tennessee's defense, there's one guy in particular that I'm thinking, Where? Where
Wasn't he first overall in mock drafts a couple months ago?
James Pierce Jr.? Where are you? Where are you under my desk? Are you in his bag of clothes? Are you in my water?
I don't know. Where is he, bro?
I don't know what happened. I still did not get the number one overall picks from last year. Like that's why I look back at the film. I'm thinking, what's some people seeing in here that
Maybe first round.
I don't think he's first round. I'm that's a hot take.
High second.
I personally think he's a low second. He's been bad.
I just thought he had the tools to develop to a high second.
He's been bad.
He hasn't.
He's been bad.
I don't think he's a first round or second rounder right now.
I'm gonna read his stats off the year real quick. 0.8 tackles. 0.3 TFLs.
Oh,
half a sack. And I guess half sack was against Oklahoma. And so was the half TFL. I'm thinking to myself, they have a really good guy. Really, James Pierce Jr. has a high motor, undersized defensive end that you cannot play anywhere. It's plain and simple. You could be good in college, he will not be good in NFL. Now, the day he proves me that wrong, go right ahead. It's probably so much with Trayvon Walker in a way. You can't play. I think you can't put him outside.
It's kind of the story of. James Pierce doesn't play inside linebacker, but Harold Perkins. I'm sorry, his stats do not value a first round pick right now. I'm sorry,
he doesn't.
And I know he's out for the year, but even last year he was not that good. Sorry.
We'll talk about it. I don't know.
He's too small to play edge.
Exactly.
He's too small.
He could play an outside linebacker type of range, but like James Pierce Jr. can't. He's a true defensive end, undersized. He's not strong. He's not strong like J.J. Watt is. J.J. Watt, it was undersized defensive end. That's what he's getting compared to a lot. But J.J. Watt was strong. The dude will run through a motherfucker's face. And James Pierce just isn't. He's just not that guy. Plain simple. Like, hate to say that. Hate to see this fall off of Jackson Arnold. He played really, really, really good in his pass game versus Tulane, but he's just inconsistent. I don't know. He was a 5-star. He was getting interviewed, talk all throughout the offseason. I remember one of the people that I coach, and KJ Daniels, goes to Oklahoma. I think they're 5th string wide receiver right now. He's on red shirt. He talked nothing but high things on Jackson Arnold, especially to me. Like, great guy. I personally met Jackson Arnold. Great guy. Very tall guy, honestly. I was very scared. But Michael Hawkins Jr. brings a different type of feel to the Oklahoma offense. He's more of a scrambler. He will get out in the pocket. He will run. He will dive for the end zone. Personally, we all saw it. Personally, he did not get in. He was a yard. He was half an inch short. That's just me. But I still give him his flowers. That was a great play. But yeah, that's all I have to say for that game. I'm just gonna go straight into this next one before we get to LSU. The game that surprised everyone. I don't think there was a place that's picking Michigan to beat USC. Did you see anything that validated it?
Not really. Their quarterback situation was too sketch.
Yeah,
going into the game, I didn't think they were going to dominate on the ground like they did.
I completely agree. USC going into Michigan is a sketchy. It's a trap game. Right in there, it's a trap game. I said that a lot last week at NFL. It's the same thing happening in college football, and you'll probably hear me say it later today as well. But when something was off about this USC offense, that they played LSU, but LSU's defense isn't that good. I'm gonna be completely honest with you.
No, it's horrible.
They played Utah. They dominated Utah State, but that's Utah State. We should have saw the red flags coming. That it should have been there, but it shouldn't have been this bad. Miller Moss did not play like his normal self. Zakai Branch actually had more of a role in this game than he had in others. It was not an orgy in the end zone, unfortunately. We're this close. I'm telling you, we're this close. We're gonna get it eventually. Alex Orgy's a terrible quarterback. I want to point that one out.
He's horrible.
He's a terrible quarterback. But with Michigan's offense, they did just enough to win this game. And the best player wasn't even like the color athlete of NCAA 25. The guy they talked about since day one of last year. It was another running back, Khalil Mullings. Give this man flowers at player of the game in my eyes. 17 carries, 159 yards, 9.4 rushing average. Huh? Had two touchdowns. I'm like, all right. Who's this guy? Where does this guy come from? And then I look back at the Arkansas State game. I'm like, oh, this dude's a dog. My fault. Yeah. Hey, my feet. Hey, my B. Now, I still don't know how Michigan won this game. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Their USC offense on paper should have tired out the Michigan defense just like Texas did. They should have just stopped the Michigan offense because the Michigan offense is terrible. But I guess we didn't take into account that LSU sucks at running the football, so we didn't take account of the bad USC rushing defense they had. I mean, the defense of Michigan defense played great. I want to shout out Will Johnson. Obviously, he's that main dude, that captain for the Michigan defense. Best player on defense by far. Had an interception that he took back for a touchdown. 42-yard pick six on Miller Moss. If you're USC, you're not hanging your head on this because you have to go into the big house. Probably top 10, easily top 10 hard place to play. You have to play a top 10 defense in all of college football. In my eyes, the Michigan's defense is stupid. Like, it's absolutely nutty. And you're thinking, if you can you move the ball with your running back, 13 carries, 100 yards for Woody Marks. You had to abandon the run, plain and simple, and that's you can't do that. But especially when you're playing Michigan's offense, that would just run the ball down your throat, just like a freak off. I mean, it happens. It is what it is. Yeah, you heard me say that.
This is how I expected Miller Moss to look against us. Back when I thought we had a defense going into the year, before the ball had been snapped for the first play. 28-51. That's bad. 283 yards, 3 touchdowns, and then the pick you mentioned. This is a better game for Michigan's pass defense. I actually expected USC to have a lot of success based on Quinn. I mean, Miller Moss is not Quinn Ewers. I think everyone with a brain knows that. But, I mean, they were shredded by Texas's pass offense. So I thought that could happen. I thought USC – I mean, Woody Marks had 13 for 100. It's not the worst running stats of all time. But they had to they just kept – I don't know if they ran the ball enough based on those stats. 51 pass attempts is not ideal. Michigan's pass defense had a much better game, so give him credit. You mentioned Zachariah Branch finally really made his impact this game. But the Michigan D-line, 4 sacks, I thought they were really getting after Miller Moss pretty consistently, breaking the pocket down and stuff. For Michigan, it was even worse in the passing game. I mean, 7 for 12, 32 yards for Alex Orgy. they weren't even really trying to pass the ball, and that's not totally surprising either. Orgy had 13 for 43 on the ground. Again, we're out here hoping that he gets a touchdown soon. It won't be in the air. It'll be on the ground if he does get
I
one.
need it. I need an Orgy and then
We need it. No, it's bad.
It needed bad. I'm itching.
Khalil Mullings coming into this game, I want to say had 100 plus more yards on the same amount of attempts as Donovan Edwards had. So that just tells you who's playing better football this year.
Yeah.
It's not, the Michigan O-line is not putting out a vendetta against Donovan Edwards every time he gets a carry. Khalil Mullings is just playing better than Donovan Edwards. It's time we come to terms with that, and I think many of us have. Edwards had a better day for his standards so far this year. 14 for 74 and a touchdown. The touchdown was a long run, so that's kind of where the yards were coming from. But I mean, when you look at Mullings, 3 more carries and he had 159 yards and 2 touchdowns. Khalil Mullings is your starting running back right now. He should be your main feature. If I'm Michigan going forward,
like the big...
third down.
Oh, sorry.
I want one more thing. Yeah, last thing. Third down was really bad for both teams. USC was 7 of 19. Michigan was 4 of 15. Michigan, maybe we're not too surprised by that stat, but USC, I did not expect to be this bad. But credit to both defenses on third down, really getting after it.
But yeah, so the big thing with Donovan Edwards that I've seemed to notice, Blake, I'm shout out Blake Corum for a second. I like to hate on him, but he was a good running back. Blake Corum had so much patience that he waited for a second, and then he went hit the hole. Oh my gosh, Donovan Edwards just wants to go straight in there. No, dude, you can't. You got it. That's the big thing. That was a big knock on Donovan Edwards, and I didn't think it was gonna be that bad. But you got to at least just wait for a second just before you go in there. Khalil Mullings does a great job of it. He's patient and then goes straight into it. And you tell the yards open up for him. He had a 63-yard touchdown. 63-yard run that he waited for a second, hit the hole, gone. Plain and simple. Yeah. I expected Donovan Edwards to be a whole lot better this year. Plain and simple. It's not because of the hype around him. Last year, he played really, really good. Really great, especially in that national championship game. Honestly, all that playoffs, he played really good. You're going in this year, you're hoping he's your main running back guy. And you're stuck with him back as your RB2, thinking, oh, we can't. How are we supposed to use this guy now? He's not patient the hole. He's not running like he always does. He's a RB2 for a reason. Plain and simple. I think he will be that to the day he dies. Even when he gets NFL, NFL gonna be a lot more patient than college. And if you already develop patience, then you could be a good NFL running back. He's not. Yeah. He's not going to be. He has speed. He has explosiveness. That's really about it. All right. Whew. Now it's time for just. I don't think for once.
It's not
that
crazy.
Okay. UCLA comes to LSU. Loses 34-17. This was a good game for LSU. Okay.
In the second half.
In the second half. It was tied 17-7. This time 17 all going into halftime. I'm thinking, what did I miss here? There's something in this team that I'm missing. Okay. And I'm thinking, is it our offense? Is it our defense? Is it our special teams? And I'll look. And I'll look real hard. Okay. And I see there's a bum of a defensive coordinator. I'm gonna call it right now. I don't care what he did at Missouri. This dude is a bum. Billy Baker is a bum, plain and simple. It's really gonna get shown during these next few games. It might get shown during South Alabama. They hanged
I'm-
80. They hanged
Yeah,
80 on Northwestern State. We would get lucky if we could do 50. Be honest with you.
Yeah.
They're about to. I feel like South Alabama was about to expose us a good amount, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
UCLA is not a good team. I'm gonna keep it
Nope.
buck. They got absolutely demolished by Indiana. Grant, Indiana is a good team this year. They should be ranked. They should have been ranked. That's just me. They should have been ranked going into this top 25. They look terrible versus Hawaii. And Hawaii is awful. Oh my gosh, Hawaii
Shit.
is they lost to St. Houston State.
Yeah.
Huh?
They're probably bottom 30, 25 team
Exactly.
in the country.
Like Hawaii's not a good team, and UCLA struggled against them badly. Like they were down going to halftime, and they just made a comeback. They scored the whole entire points in the second half, and I'm thinking, okay, this is a game we make a statement. We suck, but we can hide our weaknesses very well. Thinking, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about this. Halftime.
They didn't run on us.
I'm going to fast forward halftime.
That's a positive. No run game.
Exactly. I'm going to fast forward halftime here. 17-17. I'm still on the couch. I'm thinking to myself, man, this team's going to make me drink. This team is going to make me take a beer and drown myself with it, drown my sorrows. But I didn't. I held faith in my team. And they proved me right. Our offense, I'm not going to lie, our offense is overrated. But
It is.
if we got the running game going a little bit more, we're slowly getting into the offense. And that's what I care about. Mason Taylor, dog. Alex Anderson, dog. Whereas Kyle Lacey this game, he can take a game off. It's okay. He still has place in my heart. But now,
Apparently he did.
Xavier Thomas, we get you from Mississippi State, absolute dog. I'm gonna read you his stats of the year right now. Right now, he has 76 receptions. No, sorry, my fault.
What?
Sorry, he has. I am now lost my spot. Oh, whatever. He has 76 total yards and 2 touchdowns.
He's a return guy. We kind of knew that.
That's true. But, like, I want something out of him here. Alex Anderson was a return guy for the first part of his career. Now he's showing he's a great wide receiver. Thank the Lord.
Yeah. But they do the same things. It's hard to, like...
Exactly.
I don't know.
And
we got to figure it out.
Hopefully we do. Because we just had a guy named Ethan Garbers just hang to almost 300 yards on our head. Now the worst news has happened.
He wasn't even having a great year.
I know, but still.
I was so depressed. There wasn't tears, but there was welling of tears in my eyes.
I was sitting in a fraternity meeting, and I was sitting there. I was having a great time. I showed up a little late because I had to come from Franklinton, and I was sitting there playing some retro bowl on my phone. I looked down, get a notification. Harry Perkins tore ACL, out for the year. I said in my good of the order, I said, I'm gonna be the road later, guys. Run me over. I don't really care. Harry Perkins got hurt. In the case of my sanity, we have to watch more weeks. Freak.
And it was against UCLA. We haven't even got to our good games yet that
Exactly.
we needed to win.
Like, he wasn't having a good year because, like, we don't even know how to use them. I don't think anybody knows how to use them. Be honest, I don't think he knows to use himself. But and I think in good news of our defense, Sage Ryan didn't play that much. I'm just saying.
Positive.
That's a positive. Now, when he did played, he wasn't good. But
Surprise.
surprise. But He didn't play much. But I'm not going to say too much longer in this game. I'm not going to do a lot of the stats. Y'all can go read them. Gabe might say some few. Garrett Nussmeier, great game. He's starting into a legit NFL quarterback. Thank you. We all knew that was going to happen. Just bring me Bryce Underwood, please. I need him. Need him bad. Garrett Nussmeier, I love you to death, but I need this. I need this guy. I'm itching.
He's going to change our team.
Absolutely.
Completely.
But that's all I'm going to say with that game.
I do have a couple of stat lines. This is just the weekly Braden Swinson appreciation segment.
I completely agree.
He was our best defensive player even before Perk went down. Certainly will be going forward. 5 tackles, 3 solo tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, forced fumble. He's had a sack in every game. He might have even had 2 sacks in every game the way he's playing. I don't remember. SEC D lineman of the week or defensive player of the week or whatever. He's won that. I think he won that last week too. I want to say he may be a senior. I know he was a transfer from Oregon, but I don't remember when he transferred. I think he's working himself up to a decently high draft pick. But yeah, I mean, the D line of LSU got home 5 times, forced 2 turnovers this game. So I just thought they played well. The secondary still stinks. I don't even think there's really anything we can do at this point. We just don't have the players to be good in the secondary. You bring in transfers constantly every year, and surprise, surprise, it takes a while for them to play well together. We need Bryce Underwood. We need DJ Pickett, a 6'4", 5-star corner recruit.
Yeah.
We need that, man. Those are the DBs we used to get at LSU. We really have not had anyone elite at corner since Eli Ricks before he left us. He was elite. I mean, his freshman year. His second year with us, he was terrible. No one talked about that, but he was. So, Nuss, another great game. You said it. I don't know what I'm hearing. I'm just going to keep powering through.
It's something outside my door, I think. That's besides the point.
It's 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. Cleaned up some things from last week where I didn't like his decision-making. But this was also a horrible, horrible UCLA defense. So, Durham, the hero of last week, only got 8 touches. Why? And he took a 35-yard screen route, I want to say it was, to the house. Hello, I think he should be on the field more. That play says it all. I don't know why I got 8 touches. Josh Williams, rare, good game on the ground, decently good game on the ground. Finally gained more than 2 yards every carry. It's really great to see. And Mason Taylor, best tight end in LSU history. He has the reception record, and he now has the first tight end over 1,000 yards in LSU history. We're not a tight end factory at all, but it's still impressive that he's done this. And I believe he's a junior, and he didn't even have that good of a year last year. So it's very impressive. You shout out a couple guys. Kyle Parker on the play of the day down the sideline. Yeah. That was an absolute rope by Nuss.
Gosh, it was great.
Dominic McKinley, true freshman, 5-star D tackle, made his debut today. He got a sack later in the game. So very impressed with him going forward. I think he's going to develop into a very good player, which we need on the D-line. We haven't had an elite player in several years. I'm just glad that UCLA didn't run the ball all over us. I was very concerned. They were like 120-something ranked rushing. And just with how bad we've been on run defense, I was worried. Luckily, it didn't happen. I am worried for South Alabama. I'm not going to lie. I think this could be a Nichols-type first half all over again, but maybe even worse. I definitely not going to pick South Alabama to win that game, but I think we're going to give up more points than we should.
Yeah.
And we'll be there. So,
Hey.
Last time I believe we were at an LSU game together was the Troy game. So we'll see what happens.
Oh my gosh! Don't bring back. Oh my.
I actually really just thought of that right now.
Story time for the viewers.
Should we not go?
No, we're going. I got free tickets, bro.
Don't wear a jersey.
Don't wear a jersey. Yes, correct. But so
that's the key.
little story time for the fans here. For my birthday, my dad surprised me with LSU tickets. It was a late birthday. My birthday in February. I think it was actually just a present.
Yeah, wait, what?
What is going on? I don't know.
What is going on out there?
And I was so excited because we're going to a Troy game. And for some reason, I liked Troy when I was younger. I loved LSU, but for some reason, I liked that because I grew up in Alabama and I was around Troy when I was younger when I used to play UAB. I don't know, but I was so excited. I wore my brand new Leonard Fournette jersey that I personally got from him. Great guy, and I was the happiest kid in the world. We go into the stadium. My heart was beating on my chest, happiest man alive. We were sitting by the tunnel where I think we'll be at on Saturday. And I'm thinking, man, my life could not be better than this. 2 hours later, Danny Etling took a knife in his hand, threw it through my heart, my little kid heart. I've yet to wear that little Fournette jersey to this day. That little Fournette jersey is
it's too small now.
It's true, but it's been in my closet since that day. I'm not gonna lie. I told my mom and dad, I said I am not wearing that jersey ever again. I tried. I'm very.
It's the only LSU jersey you have?
Yeah, it's the one. It's the only one I have. It's in my closet back in Franklinton. I look, and I'm thinking to myself, Told my mom and dad, not wearing the jersey ever again. Yet to wear it. That was a day that, as a small thing of me died, and that's the last time I've been to an LSU game. Actually, no, I went to Southeastern, played LSU. That's the last one I went to. But still, that's not too far off. They were,
yeah.
But honestly, great weekend for games. And so with all that being said, let's get into the really weird NFL season. Probably the weirdest I want to been through. I'm gonna let Gabe do his little Titans talk. Should be that bad. I don't All right, fans. As you know, last week Gabe talked for. I actually counted while editing 35 minutes.
It was 20. I thought it was 25.
It was 20. It was 35-25. He's gonna get a timer today of 10 minutes.
Put it at 10. 10.
Do it 10 minutes.
I can do 10.
And so hopefully he does better.
Yep. It's just with the team so bad, there's so many things to talk about, and there's so much rage that I have to let out. And I'm going to do that right now. This is a reminder. This is really for the editing. We're going to put up some memes for you guys right now on the screen. And you can just kind of see some of my favorites for this horrible football team, if you can call them that. It's a disaster pretty much everywhere. There isn't anything good. Following this week, there's nothing good left on this team. There's nothing you can point to that we're good at. Our defense just got exposed by our former third string, who we traded for a 7th-round pick. And I forgot that we played 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers and the Bears offense, and I thought we had a good defense. They're not that good. They can't contain options, misdirection, all these kind of things. We stopped up Josh Jacobs, but then we let some guy who I don't even know if he's played in an NFL game before this week. Wilson, I have his name here somewhere. I'll get to it. Maybe. He scored his first touchdown. That's going to be a weekly thing. Braylon Allen did it last week. This will happen this week. I don't know who any Dolphins players are that haven't scored a touchdown yet, but they'll score next Monday night. It'll be a weekly segment.
I want to say
this is his first game. Is he coming back?
I could not tell you that one, honestly.
Okay.
Skylar Thompson.
No, it's going to be Tim Boyle. Skylar Thompson.
Oh no! I don't. That's a terrible. Oh my god!
No. I said this last week. If we lose to Tim Boyle, though, there is no negotiation. I'm done with this podcast, and I'm done with life.
Real. We'll get to that one later, though.
I think. Yeah, we get lit up by a backup who we really know isn't good. He just has good coaching and doesn't have the worst offensive line in NFL history. blocking for him. So that's my Malik Willis looked good. I love Malik Willis as a guy. I know he's not a good quarterback. I promise you. I've seen it. Really, the only positive I can pull from this week, we didn't get any punts blocked. Let's go.
Hang in the rafters.
We got all our punts off. I mean, stop the count. Stop the count right now. Yes, that right there.
That's gonna be
that is our accomplishment.
Yeah,
that's gonna be really the only thing you can point to that was a good thing this game. So let's just get right into it. Titans Reddit. I want to shout out Titans Reddit. It's basically hell. There's all kinds of things going on. People are panicking. The sky is falling in the Titans Reddit. Don't go look. You'll probably be able to figure out which anonymous user is me. I don't even know where to start, but I'll just start with the state of this team. 10 total turnovers. That's last in league. You already knew. With the punts blocked and with Will Levis giving the ball away 2 to 3 times a week. And we have no turnovers forced. That was my thing coming into this week when I thought our defense was good. Force some turnovers. That was the only thing I could really criticize them. Now I just criticize them pretty much everywhere. They're terrible. They're not good. We couldn't contain Malik. He looked like an NFL veteran who's been starting for 5 years against us. This is more like the Titans defense I've seen for the past 3 years. There are no positives left with this team. The defense in the second half, I guess, wasn't horribly abysmal, but the Packers were really just being really conservative and trying to run the clock out. Thank you to Matt LaFleur, former offensive coordinator of the Titans, who we could have hired over Mike Vrabel. Just keep that in mind. It's time we discuss if Jeffrey Simmons is overrated. He hasn't had any impact 3 games in, minus penalties that have cost us. I believe he's had one every week where it's just something stupid, and we always knew this. People can get in his head, and he can make really stupid decisions. He gets frustrated really easily. Saw it again this week. Sorry, Jeff. Love you, but he's got to be a smarter player. He's always done like this, and this year he's not even putting up stats to back it up, so I'm really getting frustrated with him. Tackling was one of the worst I've seen in my 8.5 years watching this team. It was really just horrible everywhere. The linebackers, it was more than the linebackers, which if you told me it was just the linebackers, that would have made sense. But I feel like everyone was missing tackles left and right. Emmanuel Wilson, I have his name here. That was the guy who scored on us his first NFL touchdown. Yeah. Not really surprised. That's going to be a weekly thing. Awuzie went down. Jarvis Brownlee came in. Awuzie is going to be going to IR. Not a surprise. These things happen. We're the Titans. Surprised it didn't happen sooner. I want to say going into the Jets game, we didn't have anyone on the injury report, which is probably the first time in 3 to 4 years at that point that we hadn't had that going into a game. I think Jarvis Brownlee is a good corner. I actually liked him when we made that pick out of Louisville. He got cooked against the Saints a couple times in our last preseason game. That was really embarrassing. But other than that, I thought he did pretty well. My only thing is, does Roger McCreary have to move to the outside? He sucks there. He's 5'8". He got mossed this game too. He's a slot corner. I don't want Roger to have to go to the outside. I think Jarvis Brownlee is around the same height, but Roger, for some reason, when there's a taller receiver, he loses all control of his mind and just gets absolutely mossed. Except for that one play against the Chargers 2 years ago where he tipped the ball back in bounds and it got intercepted. I'm doing pretty good, honestly. I'm halfway through. I think the worst thing about this is Trey Avery is going to get promoted to the active roster. God help us all if Trey Avery is on our active roster. He's a football terrorist. He can't cover anybody except for 2020 when he made a couple good plays in 2 games. So, yeah, that's really, really, really concerning if Trey Avery is going to be playing for this football team. Offense, what the hell is offense? It's really getting annoying at this point.
Offense? I barely know her.
I'm losing my mind watching this team. I thought I was going to bleed when I was banging my head against the wall watching this football team try to run plays. Before I even get to the offensive line, because that's 75% of my notes, I'm going to talk about Levis. I didn't think he played the worst game of all time. I actually thought he made a couple of nice plays, even with, every human on the planet getting through the offensive line and getting to him. But this dude cannot read defenses. If his first read isn't there, I said it last week, he's just taken off. And he can't throw people open. He can't make progressions. Half the time there isn't even time to make progressions. That's his part of the issue. Even when he has time, he make bad decisions. It's just frustrating to watch this dude, who I thought played pretty well considering all things last year. But he wasn't a world beater. I think a lot of Titans fans were overrating him. He handed the Packers 7 points, absolutely stared down Hopkins, didn't even look at anyone else, threw it straight to Jair Alexander for a pick six. There's your stupid turnover of the week. And then the fumble against, I want to say it was Lucas Van Ness that hit him. MPF, I got the still photo. Literally half a second, MPF made no contact with Lucas Van Ness, and he was on his knees doing the splits. Nicholas Petit-Frere is the worst lineman in football. Third straight year we have this. He's a terrorist. I never want to see him on the field. But then you realize we have to put in Jalen Duncan, who might be the worst offensive lineman in NFL history. So there's really no answers at right tackle until the offseason, or unless we sign some old fart who hasn't made a team yet, which I really don't know. Even like David Bakhtiari on in a wheelchair might be better at this point. It's so hard to watch. So yeah, Levis wasn't the main issue. Absolutely, he drifts into pressure and makes dumb plays, turns the ball over. The main issue was the offensive line. I'm just going to skip talking about the receivers because I got to get to this offensive line stuff. I want to make sure I rag on this offensive line as much as I can. The run game was nowhere to be found. None of the O linemen were really run blocking well today. I'm going to get to the PFF grades later. Just absolutely dominated up front. There is, when we bring in Tony Pollard, you got two guys, Pollard and Spears, kind of do the same thing, and that brings you some balance. You don't have to it's not with Derrick Henry, you don't have to take them off, and then it's pretty obvious what you're doing. They can do both. They're dual threat guys. But the problem is, on a play like the 4th and 2, where we have to run a fucking rollout pass because we don't have any power backs who can get 2 yards. And our offensive line is so bad that we can't run it up the middle. I saw we tried out a couple power backs today. The Titans did. So we'll see if we sign one of them. None of them are good, but at least they're, a little bit of a power threat. And then, on that 4th and 2 play, we run a rollout. Levis has Pollard open in the flat and just decides he's going to jump over the guys and gets absolutely no yards. And we turn the ball over. He slams the ball down, acting like he's frustrated and that he's not stupid. Spears had a good receiving day. I don't know why we're not using him and Pollard more in the receiving game, especially a week like this. Week. So it's the 3rd straight year where the Titans have the worst lineman on organized football. And Levis, even when the pressure isn't the worst thing of all time, he steps right into sacks sometimes. Yeah. He got sacked 8 times today. That's the most in the league so far this year. They'll probably stay as the most in the league for the rest of the season. They suck. They're really horrible. Really, JC. I'm going to go ahead and skip down to, this was a comment that someone said in the Reddit. Latham is my rock, my shining beacon in times of pain. I love you, JC. And I really don't have any problems with that statement at all. It's not sus to me. He's our Lord and Savior on the offensive line. He's the only positive that we have there. Skoronski is not developed at all in his 2nd year. I'm just really disappointed. I don't know if he's going to get any better. It's 15 sacks given up in 3 games. And it could be 17 if Levis didn't have the flip 6 in week 1 and then the flip fumble last week. That could have been 2 more sacks. So it somehow could have been worse. The Browns somehow have 1 more sack than we do on the year. I don't know how that's possible. And we've allowed 45 pressures on Levis this season. That's horrible. I want to say it was worst or 2nd worst. MPF is on his way to being worse than you-know-who and Dillard. Saw someone on Reddit using You know, like the absolute cinema meme
Yeah.
where you guys hands up. Someone put absolute ass instead for MPF. And then someone said in the comments, this is an insult to ass everywhere. And I can completely agree. MPF is beyond terrible. There really isn't any words to describe him. So he got benched. Jalen Duncan came in, and I'm like, well, shit, I guess we can't get worse than MPF. And then, well, I see Duncan run out, and somehow he plays worse than MPF. I didn't know that was possible. Um, there's really nothing we can do. The right side is abysmally terrible. I don't really know if that's even a phrase, but that's how I would describe it. And let's get into the pass pro grades. I'm gonna miss most of my notes. Probably are running out of time.
No, you're
I can feel it.
At time, but I'll let you keep on going.
Yeah. JC 81 PFF grade pass blocking wise, one pressure. I mean, the guy said it. He is my rock, my shining beacon. He's really the only thing I can hang my hat on. 64 in the run blocking. I'm going to skip around. Skoronski actually had a decent run blocking day, but he allowed 4 pressures and 2 sacks. Cushenberry was getting blitzed and double teamed and all kinds of things. He was a horrible pass blocking grade and run blocking grade today. Radons was surprisingly good in pass blocking. I don't really believe that, especially when you move on to MPF. They credit him with 1 sack, and he has a 48 PFF grade. He should be way lower than that, and he definitely allowed 2 or 3 sacks, so I don't know where the hell that was coming from. Jalen Duncan had a 36 pass blocking grade. Good Lord, you might as well not even be playing. And then it's so bad here that Tyler Boyd got credited with the sack. That's just how bad blocking is. I don't even know when that happened, but Tyler Boyd apparently allowed a sack. I'm losing my mind talking about this team. I'm gonna run over 10 minutes. I'm sorry. I got a couple more things.
15 right now.
Yeah, no, I'm way over. These are a couple of O-line comments that I saw. This is gonna be a series I do to at least keep these entertaining for people. This is a guy from my Titans pod that got canceled right before the season. Disneyland's front entrance doesn't have this many turnstiles standing in a row when talking about our O-line, and I'm like, absolutely, I agree. Somebody was ragging on Bill Callahan and the job he's done so far as our O-line coach, but somebody said it's hard to make a great meal when poop is a required ingredient. Talking about MPF and Jalen Duncan, I completely agree. I don't think there's much really to blame about Bill Callahan. So far, it's only 3 weeks in. Those things take time to gel. Now, Brian Callahan, I think, is beginning to be on the hot seat. He's supposed to be an offensive guy, and we probably have the worst offense, bottom 3 offense in the league. So he really needs to step it up, or he could be a one and done this year. And then these are just a couple of team stats. They're just to make you facepalm and be glad that you're not a Titans fan. We are 6-21 since the infamous DUI Downing game 2 years ago in Green Bay. Where Todd Downing got a DUI after that game where we blew the Packers out. That was in November of 2022. We are 24 of our last 37. We've scored 17 or less points. We haven't scored 30 in 994 days. Let that sink in. January 2nd of 2022, when we won 34-3 over the Dolphins. That is the last time the Titans have scored 30 points in a football game. I am a completely different man since that day has happened. I think everyone has had a lot of plot development in themselves since that happened. It's really embarrassing. I just want to bang my head into a knife when I looked at that. We haven't scored in the fourth quarter since Christmas Eve of last year against Seattle. I mean, if there's a way to lose, we're going to lose. We need this week 5 bye. Like, I need to start drinking during games. We're going to limp into this bye week probably at 0-4. With the agility of a dead horse, we're just going to fall into the bye week and probably lose the bye week. And then I want week 17 to be moved for a first pick bowl game. Whoever's second worst team, we can play each other and get the first pick. That's what I want. The only satisfying part of this year is when we get a good pick. I hate this team. I want to die. I cut off about half of my notes, but I still went 10 minutes over. So,
yeah. All I could say, Gabe, I don't know what needs to start happening with you Washington Titans, but I think drinking is a big in there to make it
It's the next step.
enjoyable.
If we lose to Tim Boyle in prime time, I'm going to start doing it.
I'm gonna go straight into this little Saints game. I really don't know what to say. This one hurt. This one hurt a lot. Defense, immaculate. Oh my gosh, our defense is the best defense of all football. I don't care what people say. Frauds. Paulson and Debo, dog, absolute dog. Carlo Granderson, or I want to say Curtis Granderson because Mets legend, quick plug. But Carlo Granderson, dog. Tyrann Mathieu, dog. Willie Gay, dog. Brian Breesy had a great game, dog. Will Harris came in since Lattimore didn't really play that good of a game. Harris was able to come in, play a little bit. Alontae Taylor, dog. Murray Davis, washed, but dog. Defense was there. I'm not gonna lie. Cam Jordan, washed. Very, very washed. I'm not gonna say dog. Very washed. But the big thing with Saints. The big thing with the Saints is there's always one position that terrorizes us. It's not a quarterback. It's not a running back. It's not a wide receiver. It's a freaking tight end. Tight ends that own us. Vernon Davis owns us. George Kittle owns us. Mason Rudolph owns us. Oh, he owns us. Oh, he owns us.
Kyle Rudolph.
They both own
Mason
us,
Rudolph.
honestly. I don't really care.
No.
Yeah, Kyle Rudolph owns us. Now, we're adding a special name to the mix. Going into this game, this man, ready for this? Ready for this stat? Going into this game, this man had, 8, 9, 12 receptions. Not really good. I lied. No, stupid me. 7 receptions for 69 yards. Nice. And then, gosh, this one hurts. Takes up one of the first catches of the game. He takes a 43-yard dot. Dallas Goedert just put the ass whooping on us. I'm not gonna lie. 10 receptions, 170 yards, no touchdowns. Okay. I don't care about the touchdowns. I don't care about touchdowns. This dude single-handedly just makes me just more mad by the day. Tight ends have always been the Saints' weakness. You have a good tight end, you're beating the Saints. It is what it is. It's how it's always been since day one I've been watching. Like a few examples. Vernon Davis, the catch of the goal line. Easy. There, it's done. George Kittle, do we need to bring back the fact that he stiff-armed the frick out of Marshawn Lattimore and ran 63 yards down the field? We got 15 tacked on top of that.
Yeah. That was bad.
And Kyle Rudolph, the push off, by the way, he pushed off.
Vikings legend.
He pushed off in the end zone in the 2018 series, 2019 series, 2019 series. When we put him in the wild card. And then now I had to live through what just happened. Okay. Now, Saquon Barkley, you're a dog. I'm going to give that one. I'm not going to say I'm not too mad about that one. Jalen Hurts, I'm ready to say this now. He's a fraud. I don't care what people say. The dude's a fraud. His stats lines don't show it, but how he played the game, fraud. Devonta Smith, I'm sorry. I'm going to put that one out.
Yeah, he died.
I felt bad. I saw the hit. I'm like, right then and there.
Yeah.
We let Johnny Wilson get a catch, by the way. His first career catch on third down. I don't know why I said that. I just felt like doing it. I don't know what to say. Our offense, our offense was getting thrown around by a bunch of young guys, pretty much. That's what it felt like. And one guy in particular, actually two guys in particular, one in Zach Bond, one of the linebackers. He was playing the edge for most of the night, but actually played on the edge on Trevor Penny's side, and pretty much just outrushed Trevor Penny. Now, Trevor Penny still had a good game. Okay, cool. I'm okay with that. But then you had to go deal with these two massive, large men. First quarter, our starting center, Caesar, Eric McCoy goes down. That hurts. Tim Patrick has to move to left guard, and we have a new Tim Patrick moves to center, new left guard comes in. I forgot his name. My fault. And then you have this big, large, massive dude, and name of Jalen Carter. You might know him. This guy single-handedly made me want to go out there and go block him. Go try to. No one else was doing anything. I might as well go try. And then you got this other guy named Jordan Davis. This dude's large. I mean, what are we supposed to do? Quinyon Mitchell was actually looking like a good cornerback against us. I don't want to talk about Reed Blankenship. Screw that guy. He's white. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, I hate that dude. I hope that dude gets robbed. Plain and simple. I don't want to say other things. I hope that dude gets robbed of all his money. Darius Slay's a bum. I don't care what people say. Cooper DeJean, please play. I miss you. I love you. You had a good return. Keely Ringo, die. Plain and simple. I hate Keely Ringo. He didn't even play good. I still hate him. That's all I have to say. Brandon Graham, I respect you. I like Brandon Graham. I'm okay with that. But going into this next game, we are okay. Okay, we're okay. We're going to Atlanta. We're going to play the Dirty Birds. We'll talk about it in a little bit. I'm just going to move on from there, and we're going to go straight to our next segment because we're gonna do small jokes. So first, Vikings, legit, possibly. Sam Darnold looks like MVP. Justin Jefferson looks like the best wide receiver of all football. Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell. Yes. See, okay. I don't know why I blanked for a second. Kevin O'Connell looks like the best coach in all of college football. I mean, oh my gosh, all of NFL. And Aaron Jones is here. That's all. You have anything else to say?
Texans defense. What the heck, man? Division rival. I like to see it.
Yeah.
Stroud has been good, not great this year. Don't kill me.
I'm all for
Don't
it.
kill me.
I'm okay with that.
Hey,
That's not bad.
Yep. And the offense, just the offense in itself has not been good this year. So 11 penalties this week. They had 12 last week. I don't know. It's not working this year. They're struggling.
Like, I don't know.
I mean, we can just.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Let's go straight into the next one.
I don't know.
Broncos host the Bucks.
No, they went to Tampa.
2 Bucks. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And the Broncos defense looks legit. I'm not gonna lie. First of all, we all heard what I said at the beginning of the year. Dolphins suck. My gosh, Broncos defense is terrible. Pat Surtain's the only good player in that team. My fault. Hey, I'm gonna take that one with a heavy heart. That might be. They go into Tampa Bay. They whoop them. Oh my god, it was bad. Like that was a hard game to watch. Baker Mayfield was running for his life. Bucky Irving, that dude. Rashard White's terrible. Rashard White does not need a job anymore. Put that man on the streets. That boy needs to learn McDonald's. Make me a McChicken.
Yeah.
Large fries and a large Sprite, please. Bucky Irving, have my heart, MIS legend. And Mike Evans, I have you on my fantasy team. You're lucky I won this week. I'm gonna put that one out. I don't know why I'm doing this to myself. Gabe knows the struggle of Mike Evans. Little known fact about Gabe. The only time Mike Evans plays good is when he puts him on his bench. The only time he plays bad is when he starts him. It happens. But
frustrating.
Bo Nix, I'm
looked
not
good.
gonna lie,
pretty good.
Bo Nix looked really good. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say about that. Pretty much.
Cortland Sutton looked like an NFL player again.
I completely agree.
That was surprising.
I love to see a good Cortland Sutton game. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, talk about another guy, not a rookie, but who's they had their questions, even coming into the NFL. That's Justin Fields, and he's leading the Steelers to a 3-0 record right now. It's not, he's not playing the Canton Greats the first 3 weeks. I believe they played the Broncos last week. Can't remember if they played week 1. But to go up against a Chargers team that I think a lot of people probably would have picked over the Steelers. I believe I did.
I also did. We both did.
Yeah. They stopped the run game of the Chargers, which had been going crazy the first 2 weeks. But the Chargers were running on, 2 really bad defenses. So that was the story coming into this game, was how they were going to stop the Chargers run game. And they did. Plain and simple. The Chargers defense also did not look good. Fields was kind of a check down merchant, but if that works for him, keep doing it.
Yeah.
I think he was playing out of how he would like to play in Chicago, and that was part of the issue. So, I mean, there's no reason to switch to Russ. I think Mike Tomlin said something like they're not committing to a long-term quarterback yet.
Yeah.
Which is pretty stupid because Fields is looking good and you're 3-0. So, and then also a rare Calvin Austin contribution this week.
Hey, I'm all for a Calvin Austin contribution. I'm all for it. I've been a big believer in him. The big thing with the Chargers, they didn't get their style game going. They did not get the run game going, and that's honestly very understandable. You're playing the best defense of all NFL. The Steelers defense is the reason why they're 3-0. Plain simple, T.J. Watt is obviously one of the best players in all of NFL. Probably the best edge rusher. Plain simple. Michael Parsons fell off these past few weeks. We all seen him play.
It's time. Yeah, it's time to talk about it.
Quentin Johnson. Okay.
Not horrible.
Okay, hear me out. We might be back. The Quentin Johnson fan club might be back, baby. I was so high on him going out of TCU. No. So high.
You lost me.
Last year, tore my heart, ripped it out, ate it, and just made me
worst receiver maybe in
bad.
football.
It was bad. I remember sitting there laying down on my bed, and I was in tears, crying because I thought the Chargers had a steal in the late first round. Now this year, they don't pass a lot. They really don't. Call me crazy. We are slowly coming back. And I'm all for it.
Just don't overreact.
I'm not gonna say we're fully back, but we're on our way. Like I said, Chargers didn't get the run game going. Jacob Dobbins only had 44 rushing yards. Gus Edwards barely even ran the ball. And that's understandable. You're playing the best defense of all college football, all NFL. Why do I keep saying college football? I need to get a job. I need to go do something in my life, I guess. But all in all, great game. I loved it. I love watching those two great team plays. We all saw Bears. I still don't. I don't really want to talk about this game. The Colts suck. The Bears, offensive line sucks. I feel bad for Caleb Williams. That dude is running for
Anthony Richardson's bad.
Oh my gosh, he's
like really bad. He's like 48 completion percentage or something like that. It's horrible. It's terrible. Will Levis has the best completion percentage in the division. That is true. That is a true fact.
Fact.
You look it up.
Fact
It's
of the
true.
day, I guess.
It's like one above Stroud.
So, me and Gabe were not high on Anthony Richardson going out of college. Okay.
Nope.
Yeah, he could have turned into something. We both knew that. But that would have.
He still has time. He's 21.
Yeah, he's 21 or 22.
But he looks horrible.
Looks bad. The dude is a
no improvement from last year.
It's just after that first game, I thought they would have when they played the Texans and when they played the Packers, Texans. I would say Texans.
Texans week 1.
Yes, Texans week 1. Anthony Richardson looked like he can be legit. Can be.
He was like 9-19.
And then you look at his Packers game. Oh gosh, look at the Packers game. 17 for 34, 204 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. Right now he leads all of NFL in interceptions currently with 6. Someone give me a barf bag, I might hurl right here, right now.
But Levis leads in turnovers. I think he has like 9.
Gosh, I hate watching y'all's division so much.
It's we thought it was going to be underrated. Everyone thought it was going to be a pretty good division. All the quarterbacks. Well, no one thought Levis was going to take a step. Even though Richardson played less games. I don't know. But yeah, we thought this was going to be a good division. Competitive. It stinks. Even the Texans aren't that great.
We'll talk about the Jags in a few minutes. Caleb Williams, get that man a new offensive line, please. I'm tired of him watching him run around for 400 yards. Cole Kmet, legacy game. I'm all for it. Roma Duze, legacy game. I'm all for it.
Legacy game.
I'm going to go straight into the next game. Now, this game I'm all here for it. I hate the Browns. I hate the Browns with all my life since what they did to Baker Mayfield. It's good seeing Giants to win. I'm not going to lie. It's good seeing the New York Giants win a game. It's good seeing Daniel Jones play good quarterback football. But it's pretty darn good when I see Malik Neighbors, Moss, was it Greg Newsome, I believe? I want to say it was Greg Newsome.
Martin, I think it was Martin Emerson.
Oh,
it was Martin Emerson.
Yeah. That wasn't even his best catch. This best catch was his touchdown grab, did a whole 360 in the air, somehow got his feet down without touch. Right then and there.
Offensive rookie. Well, him or Jaden for offensive rookie of the year. I think that's clear
Absolutely.
right now.
It was all over.
Yeah, it's all over the screen. It's all over the screen, dude.
As a fan club of Devin Singletary, this man's broke my heart on many occasions of fantasy.
That Tuesday night Bills game, like 4 years ago, where you needed him to win you the week, and he had like 3 points.
He needed 10 points. That's all he needed. 3 points. Now, seeing Devin Singletary have a great game versus the Browns, sign me up. I'm all for it.
Browns defense is kind of not good.
Yeah,
they're not good.
Not that good. Deshaun Watson.
He wasn't terrible.
I don't care. I'm going to say this.
He wasn't the worst thing. He's a terrible human, but he didn't have the worst game. Surprising.
Give me Jameis Winston. I don't care. I hate Deshaun Watson with all my passion. I hate watching him play football now. If you had told me this,
and they have no run game.
If you had told me this in 2018, that Deshaun Watson would be a terrible human being, would be a terrible football player, would be an average quarterback, I'd be like
below average. He's well below average.
I will look at you dumbfounded. That's word of the day. Dumbfounded. Jacob uses big words, and we're going to use them.
Clemson QBs. They're not good.
We're thinking.
They're not good.
I'm thinking with all my heart. I would have sat at you right then and laughed at your face. I saw a graphic. Before we talk about Trevor Lawrence, saw a graphic that Clemson must teach their quarterbacks how to finesse stuff. Deshaun Watson, we all see his contract. Trevor Lawrence, we all see his contract. And and DJ Uga blah 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 blah. It's
DJ, you need to put my fries in the bag.
DJ.
I saw somebody call him that. That's the best.
DJ, I need a McChicken stat, please. Do something for me, please. That's all I'm begging. I'm gonna move on to the next one. As right here, the
Niners Rams, I think.
Okay, hear me out.
Niners, what the heck?
Hear me
Man?
out.
I picked
This
you.
was a great.
What the heck was that about?
This was a great game. This was a
Juwan Jennings legacy game.
I was all for it. Brandon Ayuk, go ahead. You need to return all that money back to the Niners. I don't know what happened there.
Where is bro?
Bro just stopped trying after last year. Juwan Jennings is Randy Moss 2.0 for obvious reasons. Brock Purdy had a great game.
I thought he looked great.
He had a great game. It was very just unfortunate for him.
The Rams defense sucks.
Yeah, completely agree.
They look great.
Jordan Mason, dog. Now could it be the scheme? Possibly. But now, my Pookie there. My man, my dog, Kyron Williams. Thank you. Thank you for showing me the way of a true running back is. I have been fancy this week.
Okay.
That 3 touchdowns.
I need to shout out my king, Matthew Stafford, my dark horse MVP pick, doing it with plumbers out here. Doing it with plumbers.
Let me tell them.
I mean, he's a top 5 quarterback right
Let
now.
me tell them. Here's the top 3 receiver in yards. Ready? You're like this one. Tutu Atwell.
Nico. Hey, Madden 22 football team franchise preseason
That's
legend.
fair.
Right there.
That's fair. Darius Robinson. Exactly.
Florida legend.
Now,
DeMarcus Robinson? Yeah,
the
Florida
Mark
legend.
Robinson. I was right there, Darius Robinson.
Yeah, Florida
And
legend.
then the man, the myth, the legend, the guy I love the most out of preseason, Jordan Whittington. And then you had the guy that everybody and their mom was for saying that we're gonna have a big game in Tyler Johnson. But shout out Matt Stafford. Dude played with would be 4th, 5th, 6th stringers anywhere else. Also here too. Shout out to Atwell. He always has a good game when when those 2 people are out. Kyron Williams, I love you. Plain simple. You are my sunshine.
Yep.
Plain simple.
And I want to take our next game,
You go ahead.
Ravens Cowboys,
Go.
because it concerns my favorite NFL player ever.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry. People said he was washed. Shut the hell up. Derrick Henry's Derrick Henry. Don't let he was 2nd in yards last year. I don't really know why people say he's washed. Playing behind. I mean, you know how bad the Titans O-line was last year.
Yeah.
And then the Ravens O-line, who's had a really bad start to the year, I think most people would say that, came out here and dominated against the Cowboys up front. Now, the Cowboys haven't been able to stop the run the entire season, but this is a Ravens O-line that had a lot of questions, and I thought they were dominant up front, creating holes for Derek to run through. I want to say come back, Derek, but he can't save this team, and I don't want him to die here, winning 0 games. Cowboys aren't even a regular season team at this point. These are normally games where they look good and you think they're actually going to do something in the playoffs, and then they don't. I mean, they're just getting the score. I mean, they had to make a late comeback. The score was horrible for most of this game for the Cowboys. And then they got, absolutely hornswoggled last week. Everyone knows that. 44 runs for the Ravens. They had 274 on the ground. The open target rate for Ravens receivers was insanely high. It was like high 90s at some point for most of the game. And then the Ravens defense just kind of let up towards the end. I think that's kind of what happened. Dak didn't play the worst game ever. But he really only has CeeDee Lamb, who had a fumble in this game, kind of cost him on a drive. They just don't have anything on offense really outside of CeeDee Lamb. And then their tight end, I can't remember his name, but the run defense is horrible for the Cowboys. The pass defense, Deron Bland coming back is not going to save you. It's just bad. I don't think Trayvon Diggs has looked very good this year. I mean, we always knew his coverage wasn't that great, but I don't know where the Cowboys go from here, to be honest.
Yeah, I completely agree. I don't want to go. I'm gonna go straight into the next one. Uh, so obviously the Panthers Raiders. We all saw how that went. I don't want to talk about more of that game. I just want to do a quick note. Panthers had a fantasy combined score of 131.7. That would have beaten my team by 30 points. Depends which league I look at.
I mean, mine by like 60. Had a bad
This
week.
next game, Lions, Cardinals, snoozy. Be honest with you. Yeah,
It's
we kind of mid.
it's
And then
nice.
next game, Chiefs Falcons, Sunday Night Football, hype. We all saw the pass interference at the end. And what it called.
Yeah.
Now, I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this. Patrick Mahomes has not looked that good. But hey, hands in the air. He
He
has
hasn't
not looked
looked
like MVP candidate.
at like we thought he would.
Exactly. Hands in the
At
air.
least. He's still been good.
I'm gonna go ahead, put it behind the back. I'm ready for y'all.
He just like the interception was really bad.
Yeah.
He's doing that a lot this year, throwing balls like that. But yeah, the passing game wasn't as crisp. The running game was actually better than I thought it'd be. With no Pacheco this week.
Yeah.
Kelsey's not really doing anything right now. They say it's because of the defense. Mahomes said it's like because there's 2 or 3 people on him. That's always been the case, and Travis Kelsey still gets his yards. I just think he's fallen off, and we're seeing it for the first time. Rasheed Rice is like that. Juju Smith-Schuster scored a touchdown. What year is
I'm
it?
all for it.
I didn't actually expect that at all. Xavier Worthy really didn't get a lot of usage this game. I think they need to start using him more. The defense was fine. They had some lapses every now and then for the Chiefs. The rush defense is holding up, even against a guy like Bijan, and a pretty good Falcons O-line. But I think they had some injuries. They were getting to Kirk a lot. They were in the backfield. A good game from primetime Kirk, though, who's, I guess, making kind of a comeback based on last week and this week. And Drake London, made plays, was kind of the hero last week. But he also dropped some passes every now and then. This week is a little more inconsistent. That's all I got.
And then one of the 2 games Monday Night Football. Jags might be the worst team in all of the NFL. Is that crazy to say?
Hey, buddy.
Look, they're one. I said one of them. I didn't say the worst. I said one of them. Is that crazy to say?
They're second worst, in my opinion.
Yeah. Is that?
Yeah.
Is that?
This was bad, but when we play the Bills, it's going to be even worse. I promise you.
But like, I'm thinking of the game. I'm thinking the Jags can put up a fight. That was bad.
I wasn't gonna pick the Jags, but I actually thought it was gonna be kind of close.
Trevor Lawrence makes history of the first guy to ever throw interception to a dead person, or that guy that was dead at one point in time. Josh Allen's clear MVP right now. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. It's plain and simple. Dude has a wide receiver group of Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman, and whoever their wide receiver 3 is. Donald Kincaid is that dude. We all knew that was gonna happen.
Marquez Valdez-Scantling, I believe.
Oh, see, yes,
I think so.
Jags, Doug Pearson. I also want to make chicken. Go ahead, go get it on the grill, buddy. I need it. Go home.
You saw Belichick might be on the Jags radar.
I don't know about that.
They need someone else. That's for sure.
Trevor Lawrence. This hurts. This pains me so much. I'm biggest Trevor Lawrence believer there is.
I'm smiling.
This dude is.
I'm absolutely happy right now.
This dude's buns.
This is great.
He's
terrible. He's horrible.
This dude's buns. Plain and simple.
It's not good.
His dude's buns.
Offensive line's horrible.
Gosh, it's bad. It's bad. It is Jags. They need to fire Doug Pearson. Just 2 years.
Brian Thomas is like their best player.
Exactly.
Already.
Just a year ago, they were 8-3. Great, they choked that, but they're 8-3. Like
lost 7 of their last 8 games.
Something happened,
including this.
Something happened there. I don't know what happened, but okay, whatever. Now, the pool of the century. Last week, I got made fun of.
I thought it was gonna be close.
Last week,
whoa.
Last week, I got made fun of.
Commanders' defense is still bad. My point stands.
This point still stands.
They got shredded.
Last week,
I just didn't know the Bengals was the worst.
Last week, I got made fun of. Last week, People doubted me. I had a text saying
I did not do that.
no, not
Don't
for
say
you,
this.
not for you. I had a text from one of my viewers saying, Bengals are better, you bum. Now, granted, is it still one of my best friends? Absolutely. But I took it at heart. I took that at heart. And I would say I watched every single second of that game to show that Commanders are able to win a game. And we can rejoice. J.A. Daniels is him. I'm not gonna speak too long on it. We've been knowing he was him since day one. I just want to read his stat line. That's all I want to do. I just want to read his stat line.
Yeah, you should.
21 for 23. Oh, perfect. 254 yards, 2 touchdowns. 141.7 passer rating. I don't know if that's perfect, but pretty close to it.
It's close, I think.
12 carries, 39 yards, and a touchdown.
It was highest completion percentage by a rookie quarterback, I think, in a game.
I've never been so happy to watch a quarterback.
LSU fans couldn't lose last night.
I completely agree. Game was cinema.
Bro was cooking.
The game was cinema.
Chase was cooking.
Plain and simple.
I mean, nothing wrong.
I saw a tweet. Gosh, this is so bad to say. I saw a tweet that LSU fans are having one big giant orgasm just watching the game last night.
Okay.
It was.
Did you see the LSU Barstool where it was like the Pikachu and he had like a boner and it was all the stat lines?
I was like, you know what? He's not too far off. I worked last night. I had a closing shift last night and work. I was watching this game on the floor, passed out because I was tired because we had to do a ballroom flip. And I was sitting there. I'm like, this is the life. Plain and simple. After that game of the Bills and Jags, I didn't want to turn that game on anymore. I just want to watch this one.
Yeah. I watched the first quarter. That was it.
But do you have anything else to say on in these games before we jump into this week?
I mean, well, I'd love to go finish off my Titans notes, but I'm not going to put anyone else through that. The Titans suck. Jags probably the second worst team in the league right now. It's us, the Jags, and the Bengals, the only undefeated. I mean, the only teams that haven't won a game yet. I mean, we suck. Sam Darnold's the MVP. Not really even close. Josh Allen, is like a couple miles below Sam Darnold. I mean, he's the king. And Jay Daniels is offensive rookie of the year.
I agree.
I don't think it's a close race right now.
I agree. And with all that, we got last week done. It was a great week of games. NFL's weird, but whatever. I don't care. Right now, as the pick'em stands, NFL pick'em records, Gabe 26-21. I am at
22.
Oh, sorry, 26-22. My fault. I'm at 24-24. And at college football pick'ems, Gabe had a good resurgence this week. Went 3-2. I went 2-3. We both stand at 7-4. So let's go straight into college football. Number 20, Oklahoma State going to at 23, Kansas State. Gabe, who do you have?
I'm going to take the Kansas State Wildcats.
Completely agree. There's honestly, I don't think there's, I don't think there's any way around it.
Yeah.
Oklahoma State, they don't look good. Plain and simple. Last week
Kansas State getting blown out by BYU does concern me. But
I do agree. That was bad. That was bad.
Yeah, it was real bad.
But all in all, I could not care less. Avery Johnson will have a great bounce back game. I think he's a great quarterback. DJ Giddens is going to have a great game. And I personally think their defense is going to stop whoever is going to be carrying the ball. I don't really know anymore. Alan Bowman needs to learn LinkedIn. Don't care. Yeah. Avery Johnson is going to lead them to the win. You have anything else to say on the game as well?
Yeah, OK State's run defense is going to get torched. They're allowing 180. K State averages 240. It's going to be bad. It's going to be really bad. They're going to run all over them. If OK State somehow stops the run, I'm a little bit concerned. If K State can still move the ball passing wise, Avery Johnson did have 2 picks in the BYU game. I think ball control is really the key, and then establishing that run game.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I completely agree. So this next game, I really think is going to be a good game. Number 15 at Louisville is going to number 16 Notre Dame. I have Louisville here. Louisville here.
yeah, I'm gonna take Louisville.
I don't. There's just something about Notre Dame I just don't like. Riley Leonard is
Not good.
not a good passer at all. He can run the ball. He has I think it was 5 rushing TDs on the year. He's just not a good passer at all. He's ranked the 89th best quarterback in all of college football. Take that how you will. By PFF grade. Dude's a bum. Now Jeremiah Love is a dog for them. Absolute dog. I love Jeremiah Love. On average, he's averaging about 94.8 yards per game, and around a 7.4 rushing average. Absolute dog of a person. But Louisville has a very, very underrated quarterback in Tyler Stroh. This dude has not thrown an interception all year. He is 18th in passing yards. He is 20th in touchdowns, which is respectable. He's very, very respectable. Granted, the best team they played so far was Georgia Tech. Take that as you will.
Yep.
But
Jacksonville State, Austin P, Georgia Tech, not great.
So this is their first true test as a ranked team.
Yeah.
But Notre Dame, obviously, we all saw how they did versus what their name is.
Northern Illinois.
Yeah. Thank you. Riley Leonard still is not a good quarterback. He didn't do anything versus Purdue, plain and simple. And they played Miami, Ohio this past weekend. And it's just more the same. It's just more or less Notre Dame is going to just not play good football. Louisville will. Isaac Brown, I think, is going to have a decent game on the ground. Watch out for Ja'Gard Brooks. He's an absolute dog. The only thing that scares me about Louisville is they do have a running back by committee with Isaac Brown, Keyshawn Brown, Duke Watson. But I think they're going to do just enough to win this game.
Yeah. That's going to be close. I don't think it's going to be a crazy blowout. Difference is going to be who runs the ball better. Notre Dame's actually allowing 121 rushing yards per game, which is kind of a lot. You don't really think of Notre Dame allowing that much on the ground. Their pass defense is really good, and this is a really pass-heavy Louisville team. We're going to see how that goes against Tyler Shao. I don't know how to say his name. Again, you said no interceptions on the year, but they've played really bad teams. So I don't think they're going to be able to pass the ball very well, but I think they should be able to run the ball pretty well. They're averaging almost 200. Notre Dame's averaging 238 rushing yards a game. So this is going to be a running game.
Yeah, I agree.
Sort of game, in my opinion. Alabama transfer Ja'Cory Brooks for Louisville. He's going to be the guy to watch in their passing game. I think he was really good at Alabama. Obviously making the most, transferring being the number one for Louisville. So I think Louisville's going to do enough to get the win. Notre Dame already lost to Northern Illinois at home, so I don't think there's any concerns about playing in South Bend for Louisville.
Yeah, I completely agree. Notre Dame is, I don't know, somehow a Marcus Freeman-led team. They play with grit, but sometimes it gets too much for them. And I think they don't play like a true modern team of football, which is not that bad to say. It's nothing wrong with that, but I think they take the gritty mindset way too much to me. Now for this next game, I personally think this game's gonna be really good. I think this might top that the next game after. Number 19 Louisville going to number 9 Penn State. I had Penn State.
I'm going to take Illinois.
I knew you were going with that one. And it's not crazy to say. It's not crazy to say.
I don't think it is.
It really isn't. Let me pull up my stats here as I next on my notes here. Penn State did not play last week.
Yep.
Last time they played, they had a bye week this week. They played Kent State, beat them 56-0. The big game you're looking at for Penn State is this Bowling Green Penn State game. Bowling Green goes into Penn State, loses by 7, and they look fraudulent. But there's something about a Drew Aller and Nick Singleton led team that I think will be A-okay. Drew Aller has looked so much better this year than last year as a quarterback. He looks like an NFL quarterback for once. Last year, yes, he had the best touchdown interception ratio. That's cool, okay, but he did not look like a good quarterback. He was missing so many throws. Dude was a bum. He was on the point of being said, "Go put fries in my bag," but luckily he just didn't turn over that much. This year looks capable like a quarterback for once, and I'm very happy to say that. Nick Singleton's kind of fallen off since his freshman year. In a way, he's still a really good running back, so nothing against that. Sorry. But I think Penn State, I think it's going to be way too much. It's a night game. I'm going to point that one out. It is a night game, and playing a night game at Penn State is going to be intense. Very, very intense. And I think Penn State just does just enough to beat Illinois.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a close game. I could see it going either way. I'm really confident in Illinois right now. I want to make kind of the uncommon pick here. Penn State's defensive stats have kind of been getting skewed by playing Penn State, Bowling Green, and West Virginia. So I don't think we really know how good they are. We saw Illinois' defense. They've already beat Kansas, who was a good offense, and then Nebraska. At Nebraska, playing a good offense there, and they held up for the most part. Bend but don't break kind of team. They do allow some rushing yards. I'm a bit concerned. Penn State does like to run the ball again. Yeah. Nick Singleton, you mentioned. I think it's going to be a key to this game for Illinois. But I think Luke Altmyer can lead his team and shock some people. Maybe they don't win, but I think he still has a good game. Yeah. The Illinois defense likes to force takeaways, but we don't see the Drew Aller of past. He's been clean this year so far, so we'll see if that holds up. I'm really confident in Illinois' defense in this game. I liked how they looked mostly versus the Nebraska pass game. I think I could see similar results. I think it's possible that I might get embarrassed, though, with this pick, but I'm really confident right now in Illinois. So I'll take the Illini.
Yeah, but I don't hate it. See, now this next game, I was going back and forth so much. I'm not going to lie.
I really don't know.
And then I get to the realization here. Jalen Murrow, if he wins and puts up good stats, we could be looking at Heisman. We could. But this Alabama defense is not as good as you think. And this little Georgia team has a pretty darn good quarterback. And should be the QB1 off the board. Okay? It's crazy to say that, but he should be. Plain and simple. I'm going to have to go Georgia. They're going into Pat Stadium. It's crazy to say. It is also a night game at 6:30. I would personally be watching this probably on my phone while watching the LSU game. But I think Georgia goes in. And I think they beat the brakes off Alabama. It's crazy to say. I don't have a score prediction. I personally think Georgia goes in, beats the brakes off them. I don't care what happened to that Kentucky game. I think they force Jalen Milroe into throws that he does not want to make. That's what I'm saying.
That's fair. I think it's gonna be a close game. But I'm gonna take Alabama here. You mentioned it. I know they weren't great against Kentucky. This is another road SEC game. That's a little bit concerning. If you don't look good against Kentucky, I can kind of only imagine how you're going to look against a much better Alabama team.
Yeah.
The third down offense for Georgia has been horrible to say the least. They're 13 of 33 on the year. That's around 40%. I believe Alabama's in like the mid 50s. So that's definitely below average. And then Georgia kind of been getting in penalty trouble this year. They had a big penalty week last week. We talked about that. The Georgia defense they're actually allowing over 100 yards on the ground. We don't normally see that from these Georgia defenses. Alabama's kind of using, I want to say Justice Haynes, and can't remember the other guy's name. They're using a couple running backs, but it's really been their passing game. I think that's what they're going to rely on this game.
Yeah.
Alabama also had a puzzling game where they struggled, which was USF. For most of that game until I believe like the fourth quarter, they kind of blew it open. So I could really see this game going either way. I don't really know what to expect from either team. If we're going to get the Carson Beck versus Kentucky, or if we're going to get the Carson Beck that we know from last year and versus Clemson earlier this year. What are we going to get from Jalen Milroe and that offense? This is going to be it was a weird game to pick for me.
I agree.
You got Kalen DeBoer, first-year SEC head coach. I mean, this is a statement and a half if he wins this, even if it's a home game. I mean, it's still a statement and a half for Kalen DeBoer if he can do it. I think they could pull it off, but I would not be surprised if Georgia wins. I just don't think it's going to be a blowout either way, though.
Yeah. I was confused with taking this pick. I didn't know who to take. I think this game go either way. But then I thought about it more. And I just think Georgia's defense is going to force Jalen Milroe to throws that he just doesn't want to make. He will not get the deep ball over Malachi Starks. Plain and simple. And that's what Jalen Milroe wants to do the most. He wants to throw that deep ball.
Exactly.
That's it. And I think Georgia really rattles him, and which sucks to say because he's my Heisman pick. I should be going Alabama, and I should be saying Jalen Milroe is going to be a dog. But
I forgot about that.
I have to be as truthful as I can be. Jalen Milroe can still have a great game here, but I think Georgia wins. No. And then so let's go in. There's just a few honorable mentions I do want to say that's going on in the world of football. Ole Miss is playing
Washington State, Boise State. I want to talk about that one.
Yes. Let me get to this one.
This is going to be a late night classic.
Ole Miss is actually
going to be a late
playing
classic.
a team. Did you know that? It's Kentucky, but
took them 4 weeks.
This last team. Oh my gosh, Georgia Southern, Wake Forest, Milton State, and Furman. Wow, guys, great schedule.
Good team we have here.
BYU's ranked. I'm all for it. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else besides that game that you're about to talk about? I hope Oklahoma beats the break off Auburn.
Arizona and Utah, maybe. I think Utah's going to dominate, especially if Cam Rising's back.
Noah Fafita, please. No, Fafita, please. I'm begging. I'm begging, man.
He'll get his yards.
I'm begging. I need some game after you. But yeah, I'll let you talk about I'll let you have a little fun with this Washington State game and Boise State.
Yeah, I mean, my king, John Mateer, is playing football, so I want to talk about him. And it's a late, I think it's like a 9:30 kick.
Pac-12.
I mean, these are Pac-12 after dark, man. bringing it back. Obviously, they're one of the two teams that's left. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, in the Pac-12, the Pac-2 now, and they're playing Boise State, who are also fan favorite Ashton Jeanty. He's having a great year, Heisman candidate right now. The Boise State likes to run, and then Washington State likes to run with Mateer and also Wayshawn Parker, who's their running back. So I think this is going to be a running game. I think there's going to be points galore. It's going to be insane.
I would like to also point out if Boise State's joining the Pac-12 soon.
That's true.
It could be Max.
Man, they've been the Mountain West for a long time.
Very long time.
I don't think these defenses are going to have a good game. I think it's going to be. I'm taking 38-35 Boise State. I think there's going to be points going everywhere, left and right, up and down, and center.
I actually think
it's going to be a classic.
I think Washington State can probably get it. I'm not taking a guess on this one. I'm gonna probably do a little research before I say anything. But I think Washington State can probably take home that game.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But yeah, so let's go jump straight into NFL right here. We're gonna leave college football, and the behind will be at the I'm gonna quick line. I forgot about one important game little game to talk about.
We don't
have to, but we're going to take a little thing about it. South Alabama at LSU. We'll be at it. Good tickets. Shout out my ticket man. He actually listens to the podcast, so shout out him. I don't have much to say. We have to stop. South Alabama's offense is pretty darn good.
135 points last 2 weeks.
Exactly. Like they put, even though Northwestern State isn't a powerhouse, they still have
an app.
They still have
app's not good.
The head coach now was Belhaven's old head coach that I got to know personally. Had a lot of good conversations with them when I was going through my time with being recruited by them, and they get Haiti put on their head. Now I'm thinking to myself, maybe South Alabama is going to be better than we thought. As now I'm blanking on South Alabama's quarterback and
Gio Lopez.
I think I didn't put it in my notes for some reason. Gio Lopez is a dog. Plain and simple, he is a dog. This South Alabama's offense does scare me. South Alabama defense doesn't scare me, but I think LSU as their defense can stop their offense. Shoot, we'll be going home happy, and we go home at halftime. Yep. Hopefully, that's the goal.
Yeah, I hope so. I have like 3 or 4 notes on this. Yeah. I really didn't. And one of it was I already said they scored 135 points in their last 2 games. I think it's gonna be a big Nuss game. I think that goes without saying. He's played well in every game. South Carolina was up and down a little bit, but he's played well in every game. That's not really going to be a concern. It's going to be the defense. Perk would have had a legacy game against South Alabama, probably. The defense is already horrible. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a Nichols-type start where they surprisingly put up some points and it's a close game going into halftime. I'm hoping we can leave at halftime because traffic's going to be miserable.
Oh my gosh, is it?
But I mean, I'm going to take I think I wouldn't be surprised if South Alabama scored about, I don't have a score, but 21. Yeah. I really would not be surprised based off this defense.
I wouldn't either.
But I think we could hit 50, honestly.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think it's a good segue to take us into NFL Week 4 preview. We're not going to go through all the games like we did last week because much at the end of the week we were getting really tired of saying about this. And so all the pick'ems are going to be in the graphic. We just want to go over I think 7 games we decided on. This isn't really a good game to talk about, but it's prime time Thursday night football. Cowboys going to the Giants. This is going to be a statement win for the Cowboys. Always is every year when they play the Giants. Yeah. They're going to put Daniel Jones' life in hell. And
Malik's going to have a good game, though, I think.
But
Cowboys' defense is bad.
No matter, even like Devin Singletary is gonna have a good game. But I think all in all, I think Cowboys are the better team. It's going to be the better team. They're going to win this matchup pretty much 9 out of 10 times, and this is the 1 out of 9 that they're going to win. So I have Cowboys winning here. Plain and simple.
Yeah, I got the same.
And then we're going to go to the next game right here. The Rams at Bears. I actually have Bears here. I don't know if we agreed on this one, but I have Bears. In this game,
I think we did. Yeah.
Bears defense is elite, top 10 in my eyes, no doubt about it. They're elite. I think they're going to put Matthew Stafford in some purgatory here. Or honestly, to be honest with you, Kyron Williams is going to rush the ball a lot. The Bears run defense is not that good, but their pass defense is. So I'm fully okay with Kyron Williams rushing the ball. Please do. I have him in fantasy. But that's the point. I think this is gonna be the week Caleb Williams gets a show. He's gonna have a lot more time in the pocket than he usually does. The Rams defensive line isn't really that great. To be completely honest with you, they're really not that good, honestly. Yeah. There's their defense in general isn't that good. No. But I really think the Bears have a great game. Caleb Williams is shows why he's a dog, and I think Bears win the game.
Yeah, I went back and forth. I'll take the Bears. I like their defense. It's a home game for them. I'm concerned for the Rams' pass rush, but the Bears also have a bottom 3 to 5 offensive line. So that's kind of a wash for me.
Yeah.
There. And then just as a whole, the Rams defense, I don't like a whole lot. They showed a little bit of something last week, but the Niners were also down several pieces.
Yeah.
I think really it's going to be the coaching of Sean McVay versus a rookie.
Yeah.
I think he's going to give them all. He's not the defensive coordinator, obviously, but he's going to obviously have something for a rookie quarterback like this. He's going to confuse him, make life difficult. For the Bears to win, I just think Caleb needs to not turn the ball over and play hero. Now he's going to be running for his life, and I don't know if Keenan Allen's going to be back this game. Not sure. But Rome's coming off a big game. I think they'll keep that going against a bad Rams defense.
Yeah. But yeah, I completely agree.
This is your segment.
Yes. I could have a little fun here. So Saints going to Atlanta, play the Dirty Birds. I hate Atlanta with all my heart. In my most unbiased opinion, as I could possibly make it. We have the early slate of games again. Please stop it. I'm tired of watching football while I'm driving back from Mandeville from church. And then thinking about wanting to do that every time we make a bad play.
Oh, really?
Obviously, I'm gonna take Saints here. And I mean that in my unbiased, actually most unbiased opinion I can have. B. John's gonna have a day on us probably. We all saw what Saquon did to us last week. I don't really want to talk about that. That hurt me a lot. But I think that we're gonna Kirk Cousins can't really move in the pocket, and he's gonna pay for that personally. We're gonna get after him, show him a bunch of looks. Drake London is gonna get yards on us, but I don't think it's gonna be that much. Darnell Mooney may have the better game out of the two. But I'm worried about this little other tight end they call Kyle Pitts. I don't care, he's been bad. We all saw what Dallas Goedert did to us, so I'm quite nervous about Kyle Pitts, but that's okay. It's gonna be okay. I promise it's gonna be okay. Our offense, hopefully we're back. We get back the last 2 weeks. Last week was a wake up call, as they called it, and they called it in their interviews. It was a wake up call. Al Kamara is going to get his yards. The Atlanta's rush defense isn't that good. Honestly, their pass defense is the best part about them. But I mean, they're also like the Falcons are scoring 16.3 points per game. Have a little over 300 yards total. They're giving up about 20. Sorry. Um, they're allowing 150 yards on the ground, while we're allowing a little under 100. They sucked on third. They've been sucking on third down. They're 6 for 27. That's bad. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. In the red zone, they're 4 for 9. The only thing they have like really big on us is penalties, which is kind of usual most of the time. It's just I think we go in Atlanta if we play our style of football. We run the ball. We get the screens going. We get Derek Carr going. Atlanta's not gonna stop us. Plain and simple, they're not gonna keep up. They're not gonna stop us. Hopefully we have Taysom Hill back. As I was a casual last week, I know he was out. That might be on that one. Hopefully he's back next week because he does add a different dimension to our team. And Atlanta is actually favored in this game. Pour that one out.
Yep. I'll probably just take us into our next game, the Vikings-Packers. I think it's going to be a pretty good game. I'm going to take the Vikings here. I think the Malik legacy run stops here versus Brian Flores. Even if Jordan Love comes back, it's going to be his first game back. I don't think he's going to play that good against the already good Vikings defense. Darnold just needs to continue to make the plays that are available to him in the KOC offense that they're running. He's got still Justin Jefferson to throw to out there. Just get that dude the ball. Aaron Jones has been running the ball well this year. I think this is going to be a very good game for the Vikings. There was never a thought in my mind. If you told me this before this year, obviously Jordan Love went down, but if you told me Sam Darnold was playing this well and then I would have taken the Vikings in this game, I would have been absolutely shocked. But yeah, there was no doubt in my mind.
I'm gonna take Vikings as well. There's something about a Brian Flores led defense, especially this year, they've been flying around, throwing around, and I think Malik Willis is not going to be able to handle it. Hate to say that because he played great versus y'all. I didn't want to say it, but Matt Floor actually opened up.
Our defense sucks.
Titans suck. To be honest, Titans suck.
Yeah, it's horrible. I hate them.
And Matt Floor opened the playbook more for Malik because he's playing y'all. Now this week he's going to close down more for against the Vikings. But I hope Vikings win as well. I think they move 4-0. It's going to be a great game to watch. And I'm going to go lead us into this next game, which I believe is the Eagles-Bucks. Yes.
Yeah.
Eagles going to Tampa Bay, play Buccaneers. I was going back and forth on this one for about an hour, for about 15 minutes now, and it hit me. Eagles go into Tampa Bay and beat them. Hate the Bucks. Also the Eagles. So it's two teams I hate the most, especially after last week. But I think Saquon's gonna have a day. Jalen Hurts is gonna be a fraud, but he's gonna have a day still. Depends if they get Devontae Smith back. It depends if they get AJ Brown back. But what do I know? Jahan Dotson. I don't really know. I think it's gonna be a really close game. I think it's a really more offensive game than anything. The Bucks defense is a bunch of big names, not that good of a defense. Plain simple. Yeah. The Eagles is a young defense that gives up a lot of yards. Besides last week, but we'll talk about last week. So it's gonna be a high scoring game. I'm gonna take the Eagles in the shootout.
I'd say this is gonna be a close game. I think I'm gonna take the Eagles. My concern, there was a thought in my mind that this could be a blowout. If I believe Vita Vea and Antoine Winfield were both out last week against the Broncos, and I want to say Kalijah Kancey as well. So if they can get all of those players or some of those players back, I think that'll make it a close game. But if they're down all three of those players, this definitely could be a blowout in my mind. Mike Evans, where are you? not making really any impact. So we'll see if he can get it going against the young secondary. The Broncos ran it pretty well on this Bucks team. I think Saquon's going to have a huge day. And then, we just don't know who they're going to have at receiver. Other than that, then we'll take the Eagles here. And I'll lead us into this next game where I think I almost wanted to pick the Commanders, but I stuck it out. Just based off of last night, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and take the Commanders here. I stuck it out. The Cardinals, I think, should probably be favored to win this game, but I don't know. I'm riding the high last week. I'm going to go ahead and take the Commanders in this game. I don't think they're going to dominate by any means, even though the Cardinals defense isn't good. I think the deep game for the Cardinals is going to get whatever they want, bouncing back. They were really bad against the Lions on the deep balls, where they were really good against the Rams. They were just throwing all over the place. So I think they're going to go crazy on the Commanders defense. The Commanders' O-line and weapons aren't good, so the Cardinals defense could have an advantage there. But I think the O-line played, pretty well last week. Trey Hendrickson, they kind of silenced him for the Bengals. So I think the O-line's coming off a pretty good week for the most part. And the offense as a whole, it just looked like the offense was opened up for Jaden last week. I think that's going to continue this week. We saw he was efficient. He was running the ball well. He was being smart. He was sliding. That was the first. Hadn't seen that a whole lot.
Never seen that one before.
So he's playing excellent right now. I think he's going to get his, and it's going to be a close Commanders win. Another upset for him.
I disagree. Commanders have momentum, but Cardinals have some weapons, and so does Bengals. But I don't care. Okay, this is not a trap game. I'm gonna fall. And I should go against the trap game. We saw this last week. I should go, but ready for this? Kyler Murray is about to do a bunch of these all over Commanders' faces, just like he did it versus the Rams. Marvin Harrison is about to go for 200 yards on the dot. It's not crazy to say, but the big thing here is that
How about their defense?
yeah, exactly. But the big thing here is what's about to happen. I think Jaden Daniels gets pressure a lot more than last week. I don't know why I'm thinking that. I think he will, and he does good under pressure, but at times he will tend to make the wrong read when he gets sped up. We saw that at LSU sometimes. But I think this is a really close game, offensive game, and I think Cardinals have a small edge with the more experienced players. Now, both these games, I think these teams match up really well evenly. I just think Kyler Murray is going to be the better quarterback. And I hate to say that because I love Jaden Daniels. And I think James Conner is going to be the better running back than the other two. Plain and simple.
That's clear.
But it just Cardinals might be losing Drake McBride for the week, which sucks and it hurts because that's a great target. That's a top 3 tight end in the league. Easy, no doubt about it. I had that feeling. I think it's going to be more like you can go back and forth, but I think Cardinals have it just a little bit. And I'm going to lead us into our next game. Chiefs going to the Chargers. I think this is where the Chiefs' undefeated season ends, right here. They have not been good versus the run. I'm going to be completely honest with you. And guess what the Chargers do the best? Run the dang ball down your throat. Now, is Justin Herbert playing? I don't know. If he doesn't play, please change my pick. I'm begging. But if he plays, keep my pick. That's all I'm asking. Justin Herbert suffered a high ankle, re-aggravated his high ankle sprain, which hurts a lot. Hurts actually a crap ton. And so I personally think Chargers do just enough, just like they've done all season. The game that they won, and they beat the Chiefs. They moved 3-1 year, and they take down the Chiefs, and they move them down. They move them down to 3-1. My personal opinion.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think it's going to be a blowout. I thought the Chiefs' run defense actually played pretty well against the Falcons. But also, I believe Nick Bolton went down at some point in that game. I don't know if he'll be playing. I haven't really checked into that injury. And then, yeah, Herbert, that is 100% something, 150% something to keep an eye on. I think Harbaugh coaching against Mahomes, something's going to be an interesting matchup, honestly. And this is a Chargers defense that's looked better than last year for sure to start this year. It was the Raiders and the Panthers week 1 and 2, though, so we don't really know. And they did lose last week. So the Chargers, I just don't know if we've seen enough against good competition to really know how good they are.
Yeah.
I don't think their passing game has been that good this year. They've really been relying on the run offense. So if that doesn't work for them, I don't really know what they turn to, especially if you don't have Justin Herbert out there. So I'm just going to go ahead and take the Chiefs here. And then talk about the Sunday night primetime game. Great matchup. Bills, Ravens. I'm actually going to take the Ravens. I went back and forth on it. I had the Bills on the pick 'em, and then about 30 minutes later, I was like, Ravens. So the Ravens run game is going to have a good day. Yeah. They're coming off a humongous week running the ball. I think that's going to continue. They finally got in a groove. Using Derrick Henry. The offensive line looked like it was in a groove. The Bills' defensive line isn't, the Canton greats either. They're definitely better than the Cowboys, whatever the heck they got going on. The Bills' pass offense is going to have a big game. This is a questionable Ravens secondary that even gave up some yards late in that game to Dak last week. So I don't think there's any question that both offenses are going to have good games. I think it's about who can really make a stop on defense. And then also the Ravens averaging a ton of penalties per game. That could cost them. Yeah, the Ravens are going to need Mark Andrews to finally play like Mark Andrews also. That's going to be another key to this game.
I'm going to take the Bills. I'm going to ride the hot hand here. I'm going to ride the hot hand and Josh Allen. I don't think this is going to be labeled a good loss for the Ravens. Personally, Ravens are a great team. They're going to bounce back perfectly fine after this week. They're still building up chemistry after last year. They're still trying to work through a few things with Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. They're still trying to work through a few things with offensive line. Big thing with offensive line, actually. I think the Bills do just enough. I said that a lot this episode. I don't know, and I'm more thinking about it. I'm more overthinking it, but I think the Ravens are favored. If I'm not mistaken, I'm gonna check on that one wall.
Probably, it's a home game.
Yeah.
So.
Ravens is favored 2.5. I'm taking underdog. I'm gonna take the Bills. I'm gonna ride the hot hand with Josh Allen. And then I'll let you have fun about the Titans. This should not have like
it. No, I even it's a rematch of I want to say it was a Monday Night Football game late last year, where we upset the Dolphins. These teams are wildly different since that game. It's probably going to be Tim Boyle running out there to the Dolphins. I'm going to really go mentally insane, 100% realistic this time if we lose to Tim Boyle in primetime. And Levis has another snapshot, stupid turnover. This is going to be the stinkiest game of all time. So quarterback matchup wise. This is going to be a snooze fest. No one should watch this unless you're a diehard Titans or Dolphins fan. There's no reason to turn this football game on at all. Just extend your nap a little bit. Wait till the later Monday Night Football game comes on. You have no reason to watch this. Do not waste your time. This is going to be the smelliest game ever. I don't know if I can say that enough. The duel at quarterback, who will stink more, is kind of the thing. That's really going to be the key to who wins this football game. I'm going to take the Titans, but I really don't care at all. Yeah. I'm just going to be banging my head into the wall most of this game. It's not going to be a good win. It's going to be a smelly game. 0 turnovers is the goal for Levis this game, even if we still lose. And then can we block? The answer is going to be no. But
I'm gonna go ahead and take the keys here.
Please.
I'm gonna have the Titans as well, and it's the first game I picked the Titans so far. I have
That'll be the last.
in my notes right here. Holy snooze fest. That's about what's gonna be.
This is horrible. This is a terrible game.
That's about what's gonna be. God, I do not want to watch Tim Boyle play again. Tim Boyle is like, I don't know what to describe him. He always just seems to find a way to play a game. Keep in mind, this man at UConn, I want to say, was 3 touchdowns to 16 interceptions. This dude is now starting. He started for the Lions last year, 2 years ago. He started.
Yeah,
2 years ago. He had a chance to start again for the Dolphins. Make that make sense.
This game should be flexed. I don't know why they don't move this game.
Make this make sense.
Good grief.
There's
going to be no viewership.
I'm going to take Titans. I think, honestly, that I don't know if Tajay Spears is back, but I think
He's back,
I think then it's going to be perfectly fine. Their Dolphins' run defense is terrible. I think this is where a game where Jeffrey Simmons is going to have a game. The Dolphins' offensive line is terrible.
That or Sweat will.
It's going to be bad. Harold Landry is going to have a game too. But everybody, I'm going to be completely honest with you. If you're eating dinner and you say, "Oh crap, the Titans Dolphins game is on," I got to rush to the couch. Respectfully, sit back down.
Exactly.
Enjoy time with your family and get ready for this next
Enroll
game.
in a mental facility.
Get ready for this next game.
Yeah.
Seahawks going to the Lions for the best game. Cinema. I'm gonna have Seahawks. Crazy statement. I have Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Lions.
I can see that.
I'm gonna lean the Lions. Home game.
I can see that. And I'm not gonna talk too much about it. I'm gonna ride the hot hand with Gino. Gino has looked great this year. DK Metcalf
defenses look great.
Looks like a dog. But yeah, that's all I have to say for
it. Seahawks defense is looking great this year. Opponents have been horrible. So this is their first real test for their defense. I think they're going to be just fine. I think it's going to be a close game. I trust the Lions on offense a little bit more. The Seahawks offensive line's still not great. And I'm going to take Jared Goff over Geno Smith right now. That's a close conversation based off this year, though. You really could argue. The Lions are going to lean on the run game. I think that's going to work for them. They're going to have a big day. And we can go into a rare NBA segment. Right
so for viewership that don't know, obviously one of our favorite sports to play and to watch was always basketball. Mine is baseball. I don't have too much to say. I'm gonna have something to say probably next week's episode. So Gabe, get ready. But so for once the NBA offseason happened. Like something NBA offseason happened.
Yep.
And it was
horrible.
It was terrible. I'm at loss of words.
It's the worst news I've ever received.
So this past week, NBA City jerseys came out. And usually this is where I get the most hype because I get to see the Pelicans' new jerseys. Okay. And I get to see all the new jerseys people want to wear to represent the city that the team is in. And then I'm going to start off straight here as the worst jersey of all time. And Gabe got to agree with me.
No questions asked.
I'm going to go ahead and take my barf bag rating right now. This Miami Heat jersey, I'm going to have it right here. I think I'm on this side of the editing process.
Yeah.
I'm going to have it right here.
I think it's going to be spaced below you, too.
It's going to be somewhere around here.
Doesn't matter. Yeah. It's going to be on the screen.
Just get ready to have a barf bag next to you. The Miami Heat jersey is the worst jersey of all time. And I think in any sport. And this competes with the Florida Gator scales back in late 2000s. If you know, you know. If you know, you know.
And those those Eagles classics where it's like yellow and light blue that they won for
Yes.
War Game and they got blown out.
I completely agree.
This is just their last year jersey inverted. It was black, now it's all red, and it is. I mean, I just want to bang my head into the keyboard when I saw this.
And then now the next worst jersey, I completely agree. Is the OKC Thunder jersey. As it says right here, bangs head into keyboard. Again, it's right here. You can see for yourself.
Shout out SB Nation article.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's right here. You can see for yourself. It's awful. It's terrible.
Oh my god.
And then now this is where I'm gonna stare a little bit from Gabe. Actually, no, I'm not. That third next, the worst one. The Boston Celtics.
Lake Shore.
Right here.
Oh,
Obviously,
yeah.
it's right here. It's chilling.
Yeah.
As in SB Nation, it says, I'm actually stunned how little effort was put into a jersey of a team with much prominence in the NBA's Celtics. This looks like a poorly designed rec league jersey.
I heard it described as a Ben 10 ad jersey, and honestly, that is 100% facts. This is just a Ben 10 color scheme.
It's bad.
Oh my god.
So this is another bad one. Oh, this is great. I can't wait to just make fun of this jersey the whole entire year. It's Cleveland. Okay, hear me out. Hear me out. Cleveland jersey is right here. Cleveland, the Cavaliers, Cleveland is red, white, and maybe gold. Like more like a goldish color. Not blue. Where the frick did they get baby blue from? That's what.
They had blue last year or 2 years ago, I think.
At
some point.
These I don't like them. Plain and simple. I'm a big fan of blue jerseys, but I don't like that little like calves things in the side of it.
Has like the different logos.
I don't like that. Plain and simple.
Mine, I would like to talk about is the Lake Show. What the heck is this?
I completely agree.
A black to purple gradient, and then you have Lake Show on the front. Ugh, gross, no good, bad. So bad, awful.
And right here, it says New York Knicks is also one of the worst ones. I actually don't mind it. I actually enjoy it.
It's okay.
I actually enjoy it.
I don't like the little font, but it's fine.
Now
it's not F tier.
Next worst one. Oh, this is it's bad. Sacramento Kings. It's right here. It's you can see it for yourself. I think I'm actually having the video on Spotify just so y'all can see it for yourselves when y'all log in. It's bad.
Yeah, we need to upload the video version of the pod.
It's gonna be there for y'all. As y'all watch this now, I am now speaking. You can see the plant right here. It's bad. Plain simple. Plain simple. It says
Captain America things.
I was thinking the same thing. It's bland. That's bland.
Good. Oh my, Golden States. Oh my god, McDonald's ad jersey. My goodness, that is horrible. I just saw that. I actually did not see that before now. Oh my god, that is terrible. Put that right here next to me. That is terrible.
Right here. Some quick dishonorable mentions I'm gonna have here is the Bulls jersey,
the Bucks,
Bulls jersey, the Bucks jersey,
Bulls.
And
I'm gonna have a rant on the Bucks in a few seconds.
And honestly, the Denver jersey, right here, it says a big 528 on front. I don't like that. I don't like it.
Yeah, they did that. I want to say last year and maybe the year before too, where you already have that, and then you have the player number.
So
it doesn't look good.
Now for the best ones. Okay, obviously
there's like
the best one is the Toronto Raptors.
It's right here. It's a Raptor dunking a basketball. There's not much else you can even. It's got Vince Carter's number on it.
It's cinema. It's cinema. Plain and simple.
Oh my God.
This is a really big hot take. I enjoy Brooklyn's jerseys. Right here. I enjoy it. I don't know why. It reminds me of 2019 Brooklyn.
What's with the color
I don't know.
color around the
I
font?
like it, though.
I don't know what that's about.
I like it.
Looks out of
That's
place.
fair. That's fair. And of course,
Minnesota's is terrible. They just inverted from last year. Where I thought last year's was fine,
Spuns
not
right
great.
here.
This is terrible.
This is actually, I'm going to be complete. That's me being a little biased. I actually do like the Pelicans jersey. I don't know what's with the bones, but I do like this description on SB Nation. This looks like a Pelicans jersey you order off Temu. The background is really weird. If it weren't for the font of Nola up front, this would be lower. I completely agree.
Honestly, yeah.
And then I really like the Grizzlies jerseys. That actually goes kind of hard. I'm not gonna lie with you.
That's one of my favorites. The font's a little hard to read, probably on the court.
But like the background of the font, right here, you can see. I don't know if I'm pointing at the right thing, but it's like right up top here. It's beautiful. It's dang near cinema, honestly.
Yeah.
Utah's
is good.
And
they go with the mountain range. It's going to be good.
I think the last one I really like is I really like the Pistons jerseys. It's something like a beige, like a cream beige color. I just really like. Make me a cream on the inside, but that's okay.
Yeah, and this is a perfect opportunity for me to go into my rant about the Bucks.
You go have fun.
We have another blue jersey. I'm tired of this. This reminds me of the 2022 to 2023 season where we actually had problems with our green court, our regular court. So we had to use our blue court for a very long time. The green court was cracked, I want to say, or a tile was messed up. We had to use our blue court with our standard jerseys and the blue jerseys. I'm tired of seeing anything blue related to this team. And then the lines across the front are supposed to be like rivers or something with lakes. But then everyone remembers the Cream City jerseys that we had. I liked those.
King is my dog.
And they said the cream jersey messed up with the on-court ads. Why do the Pistons get a cream color jersey and it's okay? But for us, we can't have that. So I'm very upset with our jersey. It's not good. You can put that one right here.
Bucks,
right here.
Blah, blah, blah. I think as one more just honorable mention, as I hear someone below me being on my ceiling their ceiling because I'm being too loud. I like the Wizards jerseys. The one I actually think is the most overrated is the Memphis Grizzlies jerseys. Okay. I don't know. There's something about we probably did. It's right here. I don't know. I probably did. I'm probably going to go back to this editing later, tomorrow. You'll see this on Wednesday. So technically today for y'all.
Houston's is not good. I think that was overrated.
But
the red black font is not good.
Right here, y'all can all see. I'm probably it's all on SB Nation. If you can probably just look up as well. But I think that's just a perfect end way right there. Just to end off the episode.
3 hours, man.
I'm ready. Baseball season's back. I'll let y'all know. I'll let y'all hear about my fun stuff next week. On next week's episode. I'm very happy. The Tigers fan are number 4. Gabe is in shambles with Titans. If LSU loses this week while I'm there, blame me. All my bad.
No, we're going up to the top, and then we're just going to jump
honestly,
off.
I'm all for it. If you see me around, I don't know what I'll be doing. Honestly, I don't have a plan for Saturday. I don't know if I'm going to go early go tailgate or I'm still deciding. Gabe's going to get there whenever.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold, the resurgence of the quarterbacks is back. I don't know. I'm tired. It is now 11:45. Other than last episode, y'all probably didn't hear it because I did find that the last 15 minutes audio of my side was cut out. I realized that. We had no internet outages this week. Hooray!
Yep.
And we're gonna stop this episode now. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for watching. Of course, subscribe, follow, blah blah, all that good jazz. I'm not gonna beg you for all that. It's too much work. But yeah, thank y'all.